What's up, boneheads? This is the Skeleton Crew. My name is Alex. Edwards if you're an asshole. With me as always is Jamie Jenkins. What the fuck is up, Jamie Jenkins?
Heyo!
And joining us today is our special guest host,
Dave Z. Hey, I got you something here. Something for you. Something for Jamie. Hold on. For Alex, we have a meatball bomber. And for Jamie, we have a chicken parmesan.
Awesome.
Yep, so a couple of
I never get to eat down here. That's so exciting.
Well, I took advantage of the opportunity. I knew it. So, a couple straight from Jimmy John's.
Alex always tells me there's just not room in the budget for me to eat.
Well, that, we want your bone to lick its thinnest.
You can see how hard. Did you see the picture I posted of myself on the Skeleton Group page?
Boney Joni herself, Jamie Jenkins. Wait, I want to talk to Mahoney for a minute. Mahoney, come here. Get over here. I know you're the producer for Banana Laser and everything, and since I'm on that show, I think you should answer to me right now. What is this shit inside of my meatball bomber? What are these green things?
That's industry secrets, Alex.
Industry secrets? Dude, I'm eating this shit. What is it? I want to know what it is.
Secret sauce.
Well, what is this? What did you get? What did you bring Jamie here?
It's good stuff. Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's? I don't think anybody's ever heard of that.
Well, I was an employee of the once there.
Well, that only goes to show. Okay.
Enjoy.
Get the fuck out of here, Mahoney.
Yeah, really. How come every time Mahoney talks, Dave just gets real quiet?
Because I'm hanging on his every word.
All right.
You guys need to get Montgomery in here. That's the answer to your problem.
If the people who listen to this listen to Banana Laser, there's this nut job named Montgomery something, and he is one of these weirdos on the internet who are obsessed with celebrities, and he made, believe this or not, he's made himself, he's the admin of about 30 or 40 groups on Facebook, and they're all dedicated to, like, Brian Andrews and PJ Souls and Carl Weathers and shit, like the weirdest things in the world. And he's like obsessed with these people, and he has to do things to commemorate them. You know, we got the Tom Atkins page, but it's fucking Tom Atkins. And that's all we got. One. This guy's 30 or 40. So I went along with this gag, and, you know, he's harassing Dave to post on his groups, do this, join his groups, why did you leave my groups? So I friend this guy, and I have a plan that I'm going to do to him. I haven't even implemented it yet, but in the span of 16 minutes, he added me to 27 groups. And I wrote to him, I go, dude, do not add me to any more groups unless I ask you again.
So that's why you gotta just say no.
Just say no. Yes.
It works eventually.
I thought it would be like radio gold, but for some reason I haven't been able to turn it into anything. Oh, well, there is one thing. So I've acted like I'm obsessed with this show, and I need everybody to listen to it. So I've been I've told him, oh, you gotta listen to this one. Oh, you like him? We interviewed him. Listen to this. I've been sending him a couple links. He acts like I'm not even sending him anything, and the next thing he writes back is about his stuff. So,
completely ignores you.
it's as if I didn't write it, but it's as if I just poked him, so he saw that I did something, and then and there was no reference to it though.
And that boy's a poking fool, right? I think he poked Jamie.
And he also likes to put a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Yep, that's his gig. Thumbs up and pokes, baby.
Yep. So this is a cool little show here. It's not extravagant, but it's a special one for two reasons. One, we're going to review the movie. The reason why this show has a funny title, Mark Patton, star of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Jesse. Yeah, of course, he's famous for being gay, and that's the gay Nightmare on Elm Street. So we named it Mark Patton, Let the Right One In. You know, there's no innuendo or anything like that. What that means is we're combining, as always, the two things we do on the show. We're combining the movie we're reviewing, and we're combining the guy we interview on the show. So we interviewed Mark Patton, and we're going to review Let the Right One In.
Did you say he was famous for being gay?
Not famous for being gay, but you know what I mean. Like, that's known as the gay movie, and if you look at him, the first thing that pops in your mind is gay.
Okay.
I mean, believe it or not, generally, yeah, it's true.
I never would have known. Never.
You didn't know he was gay?
I didn't know until I watched that Never Sleep Again thing.
When would you really have had the opportunity to find out? Yeah.
Right, luckily I didn't. Yeah, right. I mean, that dance was kind of gay that he did in part 2 when he's, coach me all night long, bumping his ass into the fucking thing, but I just figured maybe the director was gay,
Well, what about when he wanted to sleep with Grady instead of the chick in a cabana?
Right, but it's all the director. I just figured the director was...
Hey, I'd want to sleep with Grady instead of the chick.
Like Sleepaway Camp. Is that director gay? Because that movie, there's a lot of gay stuff going on in that movie.
You think? Tell us what's gay. I don't know what's gay.
About Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah,
help me?
I mean, well, their dad is gay, clearly. I mean, he's got
that.
he's got John on the side.
Sure.
And then you actually see them in bed together.
Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot. Okay, what besides that, but that's obvious. I mean, but you're saying the whole thing is...
Yeah, there's different things. There's, there's homoerotic undertones.
Like when the guy put his face in the kid's ass?
And the short shorts on some of the, especially the one guy.
Matter.
And the belly shirt on the AC Slater?
Yeah, right. Exactly. There are things throughout. There really are. You just have to look at it from that.
How the guys all go skinny dipping together instead of with those chicks?
Skinny dip. Yep.
In all fairness, banging any one of those chicks would have made you gay.
And of course the finale. I mean, the whole situation. Who would do that?
Yeah, think about that. That means that blonde-haired kid was making out with a dude.
Yeah, but he didn't know it.
That means Angela was gay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, another gay person. See? She was forced into it. She just accepted it. He was dressed up as a girl. And, maybe that's why he was quiet. And eventually he just fucking went with it. Okay, well, this kid's kind of cute. I guess I'll go gay. And then I'll kill him.
How about this? Angela got her penis chopped off in part 2, and she became a woman. Are you gay if you were born a boy, but your aunt dressed you up as a girl, and then for some reason you decided to just become a girl instead of a boy after you got to the hospital? That makes no sense. Normally the doctors would keep it as natural as possible, but they said, no, well, since you dressed up as a girl for a good 8 years, we'll just make you a girl. That makes sense. So are you gay if you start dating guys after you get your penis chopped off?
Well, no, because then you're a woman. I mean, most transsexuals aren't forced into it because their aunts are crazy. Most of them feel like they were born in the wrong body. They actually feel like a woman, but they were born in this man's body and they don't want anything to do with it. So then, when they actually when they go post-op and they're made into a woman, then they're attracted to men, but as women. I think that's different from being gay, where you are, you want to be a man, you are a man, but you just are attracted to other men.
I think Angela, what was his real name? You guys know? You must know, Alex.
Peter.
Okay, thank you. I should know.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. Right, what a name.
I think his middle name was Les.
Peter baby.
So Peter, Angela, whatever. I think that individual is just fucked. Bottom line, not gay, not straight, just
yeah.
Fucked
I mean, there's a whole lot of psychological issues going on there.
Yeah.
I hate when they say that gay people choose to be gay, because that would imply that I could do the same. So you're telling me that I could just decide to suck a guy's dick? That's ridiculous. How can I possibly choose to be gay? There's no way in the world. And that would be like saying Dave chooses to like black girls and I choose to like Spanish girls. No, we just do. I don't think we sat there and said, well, this white thing isn't working out, so I'm just gonna date black girls and Spanish. You know, it's just
I'm glad
ridiculous.
you put it that way, because I think maybe that'll make it a little bit easier to understand. Is that it's you are attracted to whom you're attracted. It's not, I don't make a conscious decision to be attracted to the people I'm attracted to. It just is. I'm not really sure why people think that anything outside of what they consider normal it must be a choice.
Right.
I mean, if you happen to find, redheaded guys more attractive, then that's just what you find attractive. It's not like, I really like this dark-haired guy over here, but I want to be different. I want to like gingers. I mean, it just doesn't. You don't make that decision. You just are.
Right. I can't even imagine.
And who would choose a life of ridicule and being beat up for who they are? And I mean, it's a lot easier now than it was before, but people still have a lot of issues if they're gay. I mean, you still run the risk of losing job opportunities, of people just maligning you, or of getting beaten to death. I mean, it still happens. So why are you going to go, I want to live the most difficult life I possibly can.
Yeah, and I just don't want to bang chicks for some, I'm going to decide that the thing that I'm supposedly naturally into, I'm just going to deny myself and then do something that I will be like, just blackballed. Like, it's just amazing that people think that you should. That would be like saying, like, I can't ever imagine a guy bending me over a park bench and sticking his dick up my ass. Like, how could I possibly let that happen? If they really couldn't, like me, then they couldn't. You just can't choose it. You have to truly want that. There's no such thing.
I wish we could choose. How about that?
You would be gay if you could? It's easier, right?
Honestly, yeah, sure. If I could go back in time, you agree. Honestly. Because women are crazy. Everyone knows it. Right? Jamie's a woman. I bet she'll say that women are crazy. Right? Or no?
Everyone but me.
Okay. Oh, yeah, fine. Okay, everyone but Jamie. Let's just say for the sake of argument,
Are you
yes.
kidding? I'm fucking crazy as hell.
There you go. And you probably have more guy friends than girlfriends, and there's probably a reason for that, correct?
Yeah, that's true. I do.
Okay.
I have always gravitated toward men. Mainly that's because of my interests, though. Like, I've always been interested in
cars, motorcycles,
horror. When I was a kid, I wanted to play with Transformers and He-Man toys, or He-Man toys.
Me too.
I mean, but I also played with Barbies, and I did girly things, and I still do. I mean, like, I wear makeup and I get dressed up, and I like being a girl, but it's just a lot of my interests are like typical guy interests.
Yeah, what do girls even do though? I don't think girls have any interests.
No, but they're fucked up regardless.
Okay.
I'm sorry, they are, and we all know it.
The Skeleton Crew does not endorse any beliefs or anything.
Men are fucked up too, but Alex, don't you think that men are easier to deal with? Like, if you were a gay guy and I was a gay guy, let's just say, for example, think about the amount of sex gay guys can and probably do have.
Oh, my dick would fall off.
Drop of a dime. They could probably just walk at a gas station, see a stranger, nod their head, hey, how you doing? Okay, let's go fuck. Okay, let's go. And they go fuck in the back of a... You know the odds of doing that with a girl? Picking up a chick that
0.
way? It has happened. It can happen.
Okay, I'll give you 1%. Yeah.
Yes, but for gay guys, I bet they have more sex than fucking anybody.
Oh, God, yeah, they're simple.
You know what I mean? They don't got to deal with the shit that relationship stuff like with women. They don't have to.
And they don't ask much of you. Girls want you, we have to go to this party, we have to go to this, we have to go to that. Oh, my cousin's doing this, we have to go to a baptism. Guys would be like, yeah, they have a baptism, I'm just not going to go. I'm going to tell them that we can't go. Guys are much easier with stuff like that, and it's less stressful. So I could see that.
See?
If I could put a guy's brain in a girl, it would be a lot easier.
Well, yeah. Theoretically, that would be perfect for us. You know? But... And you know what else? If you're gay and your boyfriend pisses you off, you can just fucking punch him in the face. You can't do that with a woman.
Yeah, you can't hit a girl.
No, you can't.
But you could definitely beat the shit out of your boyfriend if
That's
you're gay.
what I'm saying. Think about all the advantages that you could have.
Okay, you've sold me. It is a choice. That's true. It's a choice, guys.
I wish it was. See?
Being gay is absolutely a choice. I'm switching tonight because I want an easier life. Okay, on that note, we'll be right back.
Who are you?
I am Darth Nihilus.
Do you still live at home with your mother?
No, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, good, good.
Do you
kind of sound like you do.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel gay for being so into Star Wars?
No, do you?
I'm not into Star Wars.
Oh, that's too bad, then.
Not really.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dress up like that, dude.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you ever picked up a chick by talking to her about Star Wars?
No.
No?
Have you?
Have I?
Yeah.
Don't talk about it, dude.
Okay.
All right.
You seem to be talking about it a lot today.
Well, I'm asking people like you who
I
are
see.
freaky looking.
I see.
Yeah. Why are you getting so offended, man?
I'm not. When you act like an asshole, when people treat you like one, don't be surprised.
Hey, what else you got to say to me? You're an asshole for fucking dressing like that. What?
Oh, don't.
My name is what? My name is what? My name is
Darth Nihilus.
My name is what? My name is what? My name is
Darth Nihilus. Yes.
Hey, is Darth home?
I am Darth Nihilus.
I'm sorry?
Darth Nihilus.
Exactly. Are they available?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is I'm calling you from University.
Oh, good.
I received a form that you submitted about trying to get yourself a bachelor's degree in management.
Yes.
Okay, that's something that you're interested in?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you work right now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, do you?
No, well, if you don't know where you work, I don't think you want to attend school.
Oh, that's too bad, then.
Oh, you have a degree?
No, do you?
Oh, of course. That's why I'm calling you, to let you get one.
Oh, good.
Do you have one?
No.
You don't have one?
No, do you?
I sure don't, but hey, Darth, if you're not interested in school, that's quite all right, okay?
When you act like an asshole, don't be surprised.
Oh, of course not. Do you want to go to school?
No, do you?
It sounds like you may need a degree, so I definitely want to help you out.
You seem to be talking about it a lot today.
Oh, of course. Because if you want a degree, that's what I'm here for.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I don't want to waste anyone's time, you know. I know your time is precious, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. So your time is precious, so let's talk.
Clearly.
Is this for you?
Yes. I am Darth Nihilus.
Would you like to get into school?
No, do you?
Are you interested in getting yourself a bachelor's in management?
No, do you?
Are you interested in attending school?
No, do you?
All right, guys, we got a really cool segment coming up. Besides the two things we already promoted, we got the Let the Right One In review coming up, and we have Mark Patton interview. But before that, I just want to talk about a few things that are going on in horror. I usually don't like to do this because it dates the show. This whole Evil Dead Part 2 thing, supposedly it's not really happening anytime soon.
Is that because of the TV series?
Yeah, Jamie, the TV show thing seems to be taking precedent over the new movie. Now, do you think that's a good move or a bad move? Because this TV show will take forever to get out.
Yeah, and then the last we heard, Bruce Campbell has confirmed that he will be in the TV show, which, I mean, I'm curious about that. I'd like to see it, but I really would like to see a sequel to that. I mean, I loved the hell out of that remake. I would like to see more of it.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was my top 5. I'd say my top 3, if not top. That's my favorite movie of last year in horror.
Yeah, it's in my top 3 for sure. I think my number 1 was Kiss of the Damned.
Oh, of course, Kiss of the Damned. Right.
And then Evil Dead, and then Kiss of the Damned. I mean,
and then Lords of
Maniac.
Salem.
Lords of Salem. Tom Holland is remaking his own movie, The Beast Within.
Is he really?
Have you ever even... Has anybody ever done that, number 1?
Yeah. Ty West just did it with... I'm not Ty West. Lucky McKee just did it with All Cheerleaders Die.
Yes.
Which, by the way, if you have not seen All Cheerleaders Die, it's on Netflix, and I recommend it because I think it's fun as hell. Like, I had a really good time with that movie. And the chicks are hot.
The original remake is on Netflix.
The remake.
You can't even see the original. It was like a 15 or 20 minute short that he did in college. It was like one of those things, like with Evil Dead.
Oh.
You know, when he first started that up. But it's still a film. The first.
That doesn't count as a remake.
Well, yeah, it was still a movie. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
That's like saying... Well, then that's like saying that what they did for Evil Dead, he remade his own movie when they made the first Evil Dead.
Oh,
But you mean Within the Woods, that thing? That's what I was thinking about, that little...
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but if you look on IMDb and look at Lucky McKee, that's in there, that all cheerleaders die. Maybe I'm exaggerating when I said 15, 20 minutes. It may have been a longer film. I don't remember. We talked about it on Bites once, but it's been a little bit. But I watched it last night, too, and I enjoyed it.
You did?
Yeah, I watched it, and I enjoyed it, and it was, what can I say? When we talked about it on Bites, they said that it was going to be horror comedy. And I was kind of turned off to that idea, especially with Lucky McKee. I go, his stuff isn't really comical, but whatever. And then I gave it a chance last night, and I'm glad I did. There wasn't really too much comedy, and it was a good film.
What year is this?
It just came out.
13.
Oh, my God.
Oh, was it 13?
I could be wrong. Right. No, it did just come out, but I think it was,
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
it was 14. I don't know.
I really, really liked it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And so I want to actually watch it again because I think it's... And there's supposed to be more of it because it ends with a, like a to be continued kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
True.
Well, speaking of remakes, is anyone looking forward to the Poltergeist remake this summer?
Nope.
Okay, I got some more interesting news. So Scream, Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven made up. Kevin Williamson has a lot of issues with people because they keep changing his movie after they get the bulk of it. They change things here and there, and it's not his movie anymore. So, and especially with the Scream franchise. And Scream 4 was the last straw. Supposedly the ending we all wanted with that chick winning and killing Neve Campbell and whatever was supposed to happen. So basically they made up again, and Kevin Williamson says that he can finish out the Scream series. He already has things in his head and on paper, and all you gotta do is pay him. So he could finish out the what do you call 6 movies? Not a trilogy, but a...
Wouldn't it just be 5, or was there a 5 that I don't remember?
No, they want 3 and then 3.
Oh, I see. Okay. 6.
Sex.
Sequiliquy.
I have no idea.
Sequiliquy.
It would be actually sex, believe it or not. Sex what, though? Sexology.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sexology. I think that's why no one's done that, because they don't know what the fuck to call it.
Exactly, so they just don't bother with it.
Or a pent. Has anyone done a 5 and called it a pent whatever?
A pentology?
Right? Quadrilogy was
I
the
think
most
at that point it's just a franchise or a series. I mean,
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, well, check this out. I have this is some off-topic news, but September 22nd, one of my favorite trilogies, just the first movie, though, unfortunately, is coming to Blu-ray. Do you guys ever hear of a movie called Trancers?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Tim Thomerson?
Mm-hmm.
And Helen Hunt?
Yes.
What do you think about that movie?
I actually couldn't tell you. I haven't seen that in forever, but I think I remembered liking it okay.
So, yeah, it's coming to Blu-ray September 22nd, if everybody's interested. The only thing is, it's $27. So how much are you guys? Am I crazy? I'm one of these guys who hold out. How long do you wait to buy a movie? What's the price you're willing to pay for... What would you pay for, Okay, perfect. You both like Return of the Living Dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what would you pay for that on Blu-ray?
I'm kind of a cheap bitch, so I don't like to pay... I really don't like to pay more than $20 for anything.
20?
Right.
Yeah, I really don't. Unless it was
I agree.
Something mega special and rare. And I'm just not that... I will pay more for box sets if they're really special box sets. I bought the Blade Runner briefcase box set. I bought the Twin Peaks gold set. Those things I will pay more for. But a single movie, I really don't like to pay more than $20.
Yeah.
And I usually don't even do that.
Yeah, I don't even go to 17. I'll wait. Tops is $15.
It depends, though. Sometimes you can't get it cheaper. And you can wait and wait and wait, and it never drops because it's a rare issue or something, or
I have paid more than that for Criterion.
Right, those fuckers.
But that's because it's difficult as hell to find Criterion for cheap. I mean, you pretty much can't unless you get it from eBay or something. But
the sale that I just got, I got 3 of them.
Right, and I usually will wait for a sale before I do it because I don't want to pay $30 for a Blu-ray. But there have been Maybe 2 that I have.
What was the sale you got, Dave?
The sale I got was the Criterion sale. I don't know how often they do it, but I know they did it this year, and it went on for a few weeks. And all the Criterion that are usually $40 fucking dollars. That's how much they usually are at Barnes & Noble. They're cut in half, and you can get them for $20. So I bought the 3 for $20. I bought those 2 Cronenbergs, and I bought Rosemary's Baby, which I have been waiting a long time.
What was the Cronenberg you bought?
I mentioned him last time on the show. Scanners.
I don't listen.
Videodrome. On this fucking show.
I don't listen to this show.
You were there.
I have no excuse.
Oh, fuck. I got Videodrome, I got Scanners, and I got Rosemary's Baby. And they were $20 each. And that was a lot of money, but considering they usually $40, what can you do?
How was Videodrome?
It was good. It was good.
Was it?
It's fucking a little confusing, but once again, everything, you know how I am, how we all are about the second watches, but especially the Cronenberg. You know, those definitely take a second watch. And I've watched Scanners a second time, and I like it much more upon myself.
Yes.
So.
How do you like that stomach vagina in Videodrome?
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
But
It's
do you see
fucking
what I mean when I said that Cronenberg has always been really prophetic, and I said when we were talking about you getting that movie and stuff, and I said that with that film he pretty much predicted the internet cafe. And which, like, when you go into that building and you got all those people, like all the bums sitting around and watching the video screens, it reminds me of people today, like in an internet, or I don't even know if people do that anymore, but, you know, it was like basically the internet before the internet existed kind of thing. You know, like he had no idea what was coming, but this was his vision, and it was really fucking close to how it actually went. And as far as like reality TV and things like that, you know, that didn't exist back then, but
right.
You know, it just these are all things that like he saw, and he was really close, like really, really close. He's practically like the Nostradamus of horror filmmakers.
Wow.
I tell you, I hear you. Yes.
We should do a retrospective on this guy.
Yeah, what's his name? Steven?
Steven Cronenberg?
When was it made? When was Videodrome made? Is it an 80s movie?
Yes.
Damn. Well, I thought maybe we could stick it in our 70s retros, but oh well.
No, we gotta save that for Dracula vs. Frankenstein.
We'll do it. Yes, of course. We'll save that for another time. But back to what you said about money, I would say $15 is what I would pay for Return of the
Okay, we're the same then. Okay.
I would wait. I would wait until it was 15. For the most part, I'll wait. Some things I can't wait on. And what you said about the box set, it's funny you should say that, because when you first started speaking, the day that it comes out, and you said you only like the first movie and something else, I thought you were talking about the Exorcist Blu-ray set, because that is coming out on the same day.
Yeah?
Yeah,
September 22nd?
Because we talked about it on the one episode of Bites you were on. We were talking about the Exorcist box set, and then it's 5 movies, and that the price was right, because it's only going to be like $29 for 5 movies. 5 movies.
Well, it should be. 2 of them should be free.
Well, you know, I think what did I say though? 1 and 3 alone are worth $15 a piece.
Right.
You know, and then you're getting 3 extras.
I believe in that.
Yeah, and I personally want to see part 2 on Blue, because it's so fucking crazy. You know.
Jamie, I have had insane coincidences happen in the last 3 days in a row. Can I blast through them in 3 minutes?
Go ahead.
Okay, we're at the bowling alley. You know how in the bowling alley, above the pins is the wall? That's the background, obviously. You know how there are like there's designs all over it and shit?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a bowling ball, and it's bluish, and then there's reflection...
Blue ball.
Bluish?
Yeah. And then there's reflections of pins on the balls. And the pins are orange. So the pin went, and it kind of went across the whole bowling ball, and I said, hey, look, at that design back there, doesn't that look like Michelangelo? Referring to the Ninja Turtle. This guy goes, what? I go, you know, like the Ninja Turtles, and the guy's like 50 years old. And he goes, no, I don't know what that is. I was like, you don't know what that is? How do you never hear of that? So I shit you not. Within 5 minutes, a girl walks in, sits behind us. She's wearing a Ninja Turtles t-shirt.
Ooh.
Then, this guy says to me, so I told him how I've been talking to the guy Juice from the Garbage Pail Kid movie. We sort of became friends. We, talk a couple times a week, this and that. And that night, the night before, I found out he was in an episode of Silk Stockings. He told me about it.
The whole USA show?
Yeah. So I looked it up.
I have every episode on DVD.
What?
I love Silk Stockings.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
So I looked it up, and he goes, yeah, man, I ride a Harley in that one, because I told him I ride, and he rides too, believe it or not. So I watch it, and I freeze frame the picture of him on the Harley, and I go, yeah, look at this, man, I found it. And I sent it to him, and it was on my phone. So then I get to work, and I tell this guy that I've been talking to him. So that day, without even prompting him, he goes, you talk to Juice? You tell him about your motorcycle? And I was like, what? I was like, dude, look, here's a picture of him on a motorcycle, and I just found this out last night. How would you even, connect those two things?
Maybe he just knows you like to talk about your motorcycle.
But I really don't talk about it.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mentioned it because he told me he rides. So, what's the third one? The third one just happened today. If anybody denies that there's this crazy synchronicity shit going on with us, you're gonna just say, okay, you're right, I'm sorry. Check this shit out. So I bought this Simpsons t-shirt in Sears. They're all these great designer shirts were only $7. They all went on sale, and they were normally $23. So I bought a Simpsons one. I bought a blah 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 whatever. You don't care.
Where was this?
Sears.
Okay,
it's a department store.
I know what Sears is. Okay, cool.
So I put the Simpsons shirt on there. I say, you know what? I used to love that show, and I have every DVD of every season. So why am I not watching it? I just, I go through phases like everything. I when I'm into it, I'm into it. Then I'm gonna stop and I go to something else. So I got back into the Simpsons. I've been playing every single season because at my job I work at an office, and I could play it and shrink it down to 1-inch size box on my computer, and I can watch TV while I'm working. So I've been watching every single Simpsons. So now I'm in season 3, disc 2 or 3. I walk up to this guy, the same guy, at work, and I say, hey, do you watch The Simpsons? And he goes, oh, I used to. I was like, oh, dude, you should start watching. It's great, man. I've been watching them all week. He goes, is Bart 30 years old now? And I was like, no, man. He's still 10, I guess. It's been 25 years, but somehow he's still 10 years old. And he goes, does Maggie talk yet? And right there, my face just, the blood rushed out of my face. And I go, what the fuck did you just ask me? He said, does Maggie talk yet? Do you know what episode I watched right before I walked over to him? Maggie said her first words, and then I walk over to this guy, and he says, does Maggie talk yet?
Wow. Do you know that, have you seen the commercials that they're going to start playing every single episode of The Simpsons from beginning?
Yes. But Jamie, let's not gloss over this.
I'm not. I'm adding to it because I was going to ask you that because I saw the commercial the other day when I was watching The Strain, and I was going to ask, and there was this really cool post-apocalyptic commercial because everything, and I thought it was so funny because the way it happened, there was no break between the show and the commercial. It just bled right into the commercial, and so it's like people walking outside and it's all the whole world has gone to shit, and I was like, well, they sped shit up on The Strain, didn't they? I was like, what the hell is that? And then all of a sudden. And they were watching The Simpsons on TV, and everything's going to hell. And then it was every episode of The Simpsons from the very beginning, we're all going to die, And I was like, oh man, I gotta tell Alex about that. Yeah. So I was going to tell you about that tonight, and then you brought this up.
Wow, unbelievable!
Just keeps happening.
Now, now, Dave? You can appreciate what just happened, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it's fucking pretty outrageous. Yeah.
He could have said anything. He could have said, didn't they shoot Mr. Burns or something? He could have said that. He could have said a million things, dude. Does she talk? And I just finished the episode where she says her first word. How fun. And it was iconic. Elizabeth Taylor did the voice. It was a whole big deal.
Man, what was the word anyway?
Daddy.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. And I just want to say something for the record. I'm a big fan of the, I've said it before, the Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episodes. And it's the Halloween specials, if anybody doesn't know that. And I don't know how you're on this planet if you don't know that. I'm a fan of the show to the degree that every single season I bought that's been released on DVD, and they're up to 16 seasons now, every one of them are great to me. Like, and I always heard that the show jumped the shark in the 13th season. So, you know, when I bought it, I was like, fuck. Okay, here's my little timeline real quick, if anybody gives a shit. I started watching The Simpsons like everybody else when it came out, when I was 10. I probably just drifted away by age 16, 17, probably 16 even. And I loved them all, but I just forgot to watch or something, and just didn't watch them, and didn't think about them. And then they started selling them on DVD. So from season 5 to whenever they started selling them is when I didn't bother with them. I didn't even watch any of the new ones except for all the Halloween ones. I made sure I did that, and that's it. So the only reference I have in life is what they sell. So I just keep buying them until they're just not good anymore. And I think they're up to season 16 or 17, and I love every one of them. I think the writing is even funnier. It's more witty. It's more interesting. But there's nothing beats the classics. But it's still right up to greatness to me. And I have watched some season 21 stuff, and yes, they are hit or miss. That's a fact. Some shit just does not work overall. But up to season 16, I think is still solid. Do you even keep track like that of the show or no?
I haven't paid attention.
No?
Not anymore. I used to, and then I sort of fell off of it, and I still watch it, but not with any kind of regularity. It's kind of like the same way I was with South Park.
Yeah, I think, we're all the same. We all pretty much stop.
And not me. Not with the, see, that's just it. Simpsons, to me, weren't as good anymore after a while. I also subscribed to that theory that the later episodes, after whatever season you said, I don't remember exactly when it happened to me.
Right.
But I just started to fall out of it, and I was just now South Park. I never thought they fell off. That's just my opinion.
I never did either. But the thing is, I do that with all shows. It's like eventually I will just fall off of it, and because I'm doing other things, or I don't know.
After a season ends, you kind of
it's like, and I know it's still there, so I can go back and watch it when I want. But it's kind of like Saturday Night Live. Like I'll go through chunks of time where I'm watching Saturday Night Live religiously, and then I'll stop watching it for a couple of years, and then I'll go back and watch it some more, and then and it just, I don't know, that's just my TV viewing is really erratic. The only things that and I guess a lot of it now is because of evil episodes, but like the horror shows, I've seen every episode of like Walking Dead. Most of those twice. I've seen every episode of American Horror Story. I've seen, and those I will stay with until the end. But a lot of that is because I do a show about it, and I kind of have to. But sure. Now, to be honest, I'd be watching Walking Dead and American Horror Story anyway. Bates Motel.
Right on.
But a lot of other shows, any other shows, I just sort of am hit or miss with it.
I think The Simpsons are still good though. Don't get me wrong.
I think so too.
Yeah, I just personally fell out of it, and there maybe have been one or two seasons that were subpar to what was going on, like prior to that when they were peaking. But I still think it's good, and if I'm flipping channels and I see it, I'll watch it, and I'm usually entertained by it. The one thing about The Simpsons, because I bought all the DVDs at one point way back.
Yeah.
Season 1 and 2 just don't do anything for me now.
What?
Oh yeah, it's like a isn't it weird?
Dude, season 2 is incredible.
Season 2 may be halfway through. It didn't click yet. It just really, for me, it just did, especially season 1 though. Just the way the animation looked was weird, and their voices.
Everything was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. How about when Smithers was black? Remember that?
Dude, there's a lot of shit that I've noticed now watching this first 3 seasons. A lot of things don't make sense. Voices don't match. People are black. Smithers was black.
Yeah, Smithers was black. Isn't that some shit?
How could you change the race?
Yeah, I don't know. It was very kiddie. The humor was very childlike. Simpsons season 1. I thought, looking back on it now, it's all focused on Bart and his school. And
that's true. Like it was more Bart. You know, it's funny.
It became Homer's show later.
It did become Homer. It's weird because I remember focusing on Bart as a kid, and then as I got older, I was like, you know, I really like Homer. They really, you know, I know this is about Bart, but I've been to Homer. Then it dawned on me, no, dude, it's about Homer now. That's why you're more focused because that's what they're doing here.
Right. Yeah, it's different.
Now, one thing I'm trying to do, Dave, I'm trying to get you to watch Sons of Anarchy, and season 7 is coming out, and it's the final season, and it's the big one, dude. Matt Wiesel he started watching it, and he loves it, or likes it. I don't want to say love yet. Now, what are the chances that you're going to start watching this?
Oh, no, I'll start watching it. Maybe I'll watch an episode tomorrow night, because I am going to do it.
Jamie, what about you? Jamie, okay, look, here's the thing. Sons is like this. When I even looked at the covers and looked at pictures, I was like, looks boring. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Exactly. And so I completely understand.
Well, it's not that I've actually thought, because of you, I've actually thought that it might be interesting, but it's hard enough for me to keep up with the stuff that I watch already, you know.
Is it really that hard?
I just said it was.
I know, but let's break it down. Do you think will happen if you get into a new show?
That'll take up more time.
Right.
Okay. Now, how much time
I mean, there are
is
6
being asked
seasons.
of you?
That's what I've been saying.
6 seasons. What?
That's a commitment.
Okay, no, it's not. Want to hear how? Watch this.
1 a week? What?
My sister started watching it because I didn't prod her too much, but I don't really know. Yeah, maybe I prodded a little bit.
Of course.
And it was the kind of thing where this went on for a month so did you watch one? But I would only ask her that like every once a week. Once. And that's, you got to remember, this is Monday to Monday. That's only once I'm asking. So I'd say, so did you watch one yet? Because you said you were going to watch it over the weekend and shit like that. So she started watching Sons of Anarchy on some day on the weekend. By Wednesday, she was on season 2. By the next Tuesday, she was halfway in season 3.
Damn.
Dude, it becomes something that you cannot not watch the next one. So what I'm telling you is, it doesn't take much commitment because let's put it this way, I'd say less than a month, she watched all the available episodes on Netflix. So it's only going to be a month of your time.
If we become obsessed, you're right.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you basically you're saying that Sons of Anarchy is like crack, and if we take a hit, it's not going to consume much of our time because there's only so much crack in the world.
Right.
Gotcha.
And you'll do all the crack within a month.
Right. Yeah. Just go nuts with it.
So then you'll have plenty of time for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did with Sopranos.
Yeah?
I watched all the Sopranos in I didn't start watching until after season 3. And I didn't watch them when they first came out.
Can you believe I never watched a single minute of that show?
God, I can't. It's so good that I've watched it 3 times. And just the other day, I got Amazon Prime, and it's on there, the entire thing. Instead of watching a movie or Sons of Anarchy or anything that I've been talking about, I just go back and watch random episodes from different seasons and just sit and watch
See, I'm not into that. Jamie, how about you?
Stop.
Jamie, are you like me? I feel like you're like me with this. You have to watch, okay, let's just say you watched every episode of something. Mm-hmm. You have to start from the beginning, right, and go through the whole you cannot just pick random episodes.
Well, I mean, it depends on what it is. If it's a show with a continuing story, then yeah, I want to watch it from the beginning again. But if it's like Family Guy, I'll watch just random episodes.
No, don't get me wrong. Every time I've watched Sopranos, I've watched it, 3 or 4 times, all the way through every single time. I've never not. But I don't want to start going through the entire thing again. But it's a show that I love so much that I could actually, at any time, just go to a random episode because I know what they are by the title and I know what transpires in that week. So because I love it that much, it's the only show I could just go and watch one chapter of it and, and enjoy it and then just watch it any time. But ordinarily, any other time I've watched it, it's been straight through. But there you go, Alex. Twilight Zone, for example. It's my favorite show ever. That and The Sopranos. I have the Twilight Zone on Blu-ray, every one. Do you know...
Wow.
Now, I've seen them all, but not all on Blu-ray. I've had this Blu-ray set over 2 years. I still have not watched every Twilight Zone Blu-ray. And it's my favorite show.
I believe that. Absolutely. Because, dude, it's not about having it and saying, well, I gotta do it. You gotta have that fucking mood, man. It's just like anything, dude. My life, like, you wouldn't even... Horror is just one thing. I'm into so many things. My mind just gravitates to something. Like right now, The Simpsons. And I will have the greatest time on earth going through all the... And I might not even make it all the way. I'm not saying I'm even like that. This might only last 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. And it'll be over. And then I got something else. And then I got something else. Then I got... It just never fucking ends. And Twilight Zone is one of those things, but I might not ever watch it until 2 years from now. So I could completely understand. We both love it, but unless it hits us, unless that's the phase we're going through...
It's a lot to commit, because if I start watching the Twilight Zone, I'm going to start watching like 2-3 episodes a night. That's how I'll do it. I'll do like you, in phases, and that's what happens. But I'm so caught up with catching up to movies that I only give television shows so much time.
Yeah, you got to make more time.
I know, I really should. I can't help it. New movies keep dropping. Like, you know what I'm going to do? Just because we talked about Evil Dead earlier, I've only seen it twice. I've said it before. I saw it at the movies. The second time I watched it at my house, and I fell asleep before the end of it. So I still haven't given it that all-important second view. But we talked about it earlier. I'm definitely watching it. At least that's what I'm saying right now. My plan tonight is to watch Evil Dead.
The remake?
The remake, yes.
Okay.
We'll see what... By myself, too. We'll see what happens.
Man, when that came out on Blu-ray, that was one of the best nights of my life.
And I fell asleep. How shitty is that?
It is.
I know.
Can't believe it. Okay, you're off the show. Get out of here. But, yeah, Sons, to sell it to you this way, do you guys watch Breaking Bad?
No.
Never have.
Okay. I watched some of the first season.
All right. Sons is far better than Breaking Bad. I don't care what any of these, like, elitist, yuppie TV reviewers say and shit like that. That's just like, that's a whole... I'm not saying everybody who likes Breaking Bad better than Sons is that kind of snob. I'm not saying that. But I have experienced both, and I did the same thing with both of them. After I got done with Sons, I was done, caught up, and I went to Breaking Bad. And yes, I've had many sleepless nights where I sat there for hours, 5-6 hours in a row, just watching Breaking Bad because I loved it that much. But it's almost like, oddly enough, to use this analogy, it's like a drug. You're trying to chase the drag, and you're trying to feel the high you felt at some point, but a lot of times it dangles a carrot in front of you, and you just keep going, but you never truly feel this great sense of fulfillment that you do almost with every episode of Sons. Every episode, I think that maybe there's one that was just okay. Every single one is good. And they're all fulfilling at the end. With Breaking Bad, it just keeps you going for more, but you don't really feel that, like, it's never as intense. Maybe 2 or 3 episodes are, or 5 episodes. Sons, about 40 episodes are intense. You know what I mean? It's like a weird thing to compare, but overall, it's not even a contest. Like Sons, even like my girlfriend, who I didn't steer her in any certain direction. I even sold her Breaking Bad, and she watched all of Sons and Breaking Bad. And let's put it this way: I think by the 3rd season, she just stopped watching it and just never started again.
Wow, really?
Yeah, she just stopped. And think about that: she made it to past 2 seasons in like a month or whatever, and then just stopped.
Shit.
It's not as good or whatever. It doesn't grab you as much. You know, it's a little bit more repetitive. There's too much of a central focus, and everything kind of revolves around that. And yes, there are twists and turns around, but it's just not enough. It's just not as good. I don't know how to say it, but
wow, my brother liked it a lot, and he is as big of a Sopranos fan as I am, and he told me it's as good as The Sopranos.
Breaking Bad?
Yeah, and even on his recommendation, I still haven't watched it, if you can believe it, because once again, the subject matter just doesn't appeal to me.
Drugs?
Just the story of it. I guess it's okay, but it's just
it's all about selling and making and selling drugs.
How much can they do? But then I say the same thing about Sons. How much can they do with bikers? So it's the same thing.
But that's the thing. They don't do anything with bikers, though.
Yeah, I know. Right, I know. I'll tell you what. Why don't you watch The Sopranos, Alex? If you watch The Sopranos, I will watch... Every time you watch an episode of Sopranos, I'll watch an episode of Sons. How's that?
Deal.
I can send you the code tonight to my HBO Go. You can watch it on your computer any fucking time you want.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, dude. That's the best show of all time, that and The Twilight Zone, in my opinion.
Really?
Good God. But I identify with it. I'm Italian, and a lot of things that go on in that I grew up with, and the things they say, and some of the things that go on with their outfit. I can't get too into it. It's just, it's familiar territory with me.
Yeah, dude.
And it's funny.
Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies in the world, so.
There you go. See, and I told you to watch it. And you still got to watch fucking Boogie Nights. You believe this, Jamie?
You've never seen Boogie Nights?
You believe it?
I don't like Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my God!
It doesn't matter.
My God! That's one of the. Oh my God! I like that movie more than probably any other movie ever.
Right, it's great.
Got to watch fucking Boogie Nights.
Really?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I compare it to Goodfellas. It's like Goodfellas in a way. There's the rise, the fall, and good
Except
characters.
it's good all the way through, whereas Goodfellas falls off halfway through.
What?
No, it doesn't fall off, but it is not as good.
Oh, I love it all.
Once he starts cheating on Karen and he becomes way too much of a cokehead, it does.
Karen, that's all the money we had.
Karen, they're working a fire.
See, like Goodfellas is like Full Metal Jacket to me. It's like the first half of the movie and the second half of the movie are completely different in tone. I really love Goodfellas. I do. But I just feel like the first half of the movie is way better.
I agree.
I'll give you it's better. I don't know about way better, because I never watched Goodfellas and fell out of it. I enjoy it thoroughly beginning to end. Now, Casino, that's a movie that the second half isn't as good as the first half.
I'll agree with that, too, and I really love Casino, too.
Yeah, and I do, too.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't like Casino. I thought it was way too dark.
It's no Goodfellas, but it's good. You know.
It was too dark in a not good way. Like, I didn't enjoy myself.
You like King of New York?
I never saw it.
Dave?
You know what? Believe it or not, I have not seen it either.
What?
I know. It's
you should.
too, right? And it's
What about Bronx Tale?
Oh, I love Bronx Tale.
I like Bronx Tale.
See,
of course you do.
I think Bronx Tale.
I know, that's me.
I much prefer the beginning of Bronx Tale too. But like one of my favorite scenes is where Chaz Palminteri, like when the biker gang goes into the bar.
Hey!
Oh, it's
they
the
start
best.
shit, and he just goes over and locks the door, and he's like,
No, you
now
can't leave.
you just can't leave.
Yeah.
All right, we're not talking about this. We're not talking about
Yes,
this on the show.
I want to do that as a skit one of these days. Actually, I was talking about it not too long ago with somebody doing that scene. Alex can be the biker, and I can be the.
Check this out. Last night I went to it's biker night, and you ever hear of Hooters?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that's everywhere. Okay. So it was biker night at Hooters. So we pulled up on our Harleys and stuff, and we go there. Fucking everybody is on a fucking sports bike, basically. Like it was literally like 80-20. Yeah, they're all on crotch rockets, rice burners, whatever you want to call it. It's 80-20. But check this out. There were fucking Hell's Angels there. There were something thug something. I don't even know the fucking name.
Thug Life?
Thug Life? I don't know. That's a song, isn't it? So, there was something thug in there, and they all had cuts on. They all had territories on the bottom, and we're fucking rubbing shoulders with these guys to eat fucking chicken wings and shit. So me and my friend, we go sit at a table of a biker gang. And we're sitting, and it's an all black gang, and my friend's black, so he knew them, so that's why we were able to sit there. And I'm sitting next to these guys.
Are you saying all black people know each other?
I was just gonna say that.
And this guy, this biker gang guy, said to me, "Hey man, I'm not getting all these fries if you want some of these fries." And I'm like, "So you're not gonna kill me?" No, I was kidding. No, I didn't go that far. But but it was just funny, man. It was like weird. And Hell's Angels have killed people and shit. So can you believe that's what I got myself into? What am I doing here?
It's like Goodfellas. The second half's going to be a lot crazy for you. Helicopters are going to be flying around, chasing you.
Tomato sauce and helicopters.
Yeah, you're going to be taking
pieces
of guns places.
Bronx Tale. You know, one of the things that like one of my favorite things that I got from that movie is where the one kid owes C $20 and he keeps avoiding him. And Chaz Palminteri is like, look at it this way. It cost you $20 to get that kid out of your life.
Mm-hmm.
That is excellent advice. It really is.
Yep. That's my father to a T. He said that to me before that came out in situations like that. He goes, you never have to worry about him anymore just because of that. I said, you're right. That's my father's mentality.
All it cost you was $20.
Yeah.
That's
worth it.
Pretty fucking awesome.
You got off easy.
Are you looking for the ultimate Part 2 glove? Well, Freddy's here to tell you to check out K4FGloves.com right now. Brought to you by their good friends over at Nightmare Maker Props. It's the Revenge Glove. Just like you've seen in the movie worn by my good old pal, Mark Patton. This is the ultimate Part 2 glove, and the details are simply superb, all the way down to the index finger blade break. Oops, I meant to do that.
Check out the Revenge Glove, brought to you by Nightmare Maker Props on the products section at K4FGloves.com. That's K, the number 4F, gloves.com.
And tell them Freddy sent ya!
Hey guys, we're back. And this is a real honor for me, man. Everybody knows that I'm a huge fan of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. So, we had Robert Russler on, who played Grady. And now we have the other half of the dynamic duo joining us on the skeleton crew, Mark Patton, the star of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, who played Jesse. Mark, thank you so much for hopping on, bro.
Hey, Alex, how you doing? It's nice to be here.
Thanks, man. Great having you. Like I said in the intro, I'm a huge fan of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 and you, bro. So, great job, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mark, I want to start off with something that just totally blows my mind about you. You were 17 years old, and you were in your bedroom, and you flipped a coin to determine what it would be, New York or Nashville. And it ended up on, if you flipped, it landed on tails, and that was New York. You had $132 in your pocket. Can you take us to what was going on in your life at the moment that you decided to make a life-changing coin flip totally based on fate?
Sure. I can remember the moment as if it were yesterday, to be really honest with you. You guys know from my Facebook and from talking with me that, I'm a real strong advocate of, being kind to people. And I went to high school. I was in a theater department in high school. And I also sang from the time I was a little boy, country and western music. And I was offered a recording contract when I was 13. My father didn't want me to accept it because I would have to sing in bars, basically, and he felt I was far too young for that. But I was in school, and I think about when I was about 15, I just started hating school. I mean, I didn't want to go, I only wanted to go to the theater. I had a great teacher, and her name was Mildred Fulton, and she was a theater teacher. And I went to her one day and said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And, honest to God, I really don't know what I'm going to do. My grades are getting screwed up. I hate coming to school. And she just looked at me. She was this kind of old alcoholic, probably, really. And she just looked at me and she said, you know what? You're a performer. You're going to go to New York and you're going to be an actor. I was like, okay. So I went home, tossed the coin, and that was it. And somebody asked me when I was going to move. And out of the blue, I said February 18th. And it was approaching. So I had a couple of months to, pull it all together and make some money. So I got a job. Of course, I spent all the money, buying new clothes to wear and stuff like that. Yeah. And so, I had the airplane ticket for February 18th. By the time it was time for me to go, I had $132 and some nice clothes. And a one-way plane ticket to New York, to a place I'd never been before. And as I was flying into New York, I made a promise to myself, and I'm just not BSing you here. I said, okay, well, I landed in New York at 7:30, February 18th, 1978. I said, well, I give myself 5 years, and if I don't make it in 5 years, then I'll go home. I opened on Broadway and come back to the Five and Dime Jimmy Dean on February 18th, 1982, which was 5 years to the day that I had moved there. And I had arrived in New York at 7:30, and when you have an opening night on Broadway, the curtain goes up at 6:30. So I made my big debut an hour before my 5-year limit was up.
Oh, wow.
So I figured, that was really kind of, and now I have the plane, I still have the plane ticket.
Oh.
And of course I have my opening night program. And I have them framed together. And I always believe that's sort of the universe for me. I'd made the right choice.
Now, have you ever wished it landed on heads?
Sometimes, yes, actually. But, if you could have do-overs, I, honest to God, wish that I had been born in 1978, as opposed to when I was born, which was 1958. Because I think I would have been, totally appropriate for that time. For now, the world is a much more accepting place, blah, 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 all of those kind of things. I mean, I absolutely knew at that time when I was a kid, even, that there was no place for me in professional country and Western music. There was just no place.
I want to get into Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 a little bit. They took a completely different direction, and they made the lead a man. Do you think that there were gay undertones in the movie? Do you think they deliberately did that because you were essentially playing a woman's part? From my point of view, I mean, and obviously I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've had a lot of... it's interesting to me because Nightmare on Elm Street is, too, Freddy, really sort of historically is really almost more important than the original Nightmare on Elm Street in the sense of education and filmography. So, I mean, a lot of people do their dissertations and whatnot on this. And I think I think it literally threw everybody. Because traditionally that person, that victim, would be, that turns into the fighter, which, quite honestly in this movie I really don't. You don't, no.
And the real fighter is the heroine, which is Kim Meyer, who plays Lisa. And she's playing a guy's role, and I'm playing a girl's role. And I think at that time people really, really didn't know how to handle it. And also then you have all the subtextual stuff that's going on, and that was all David Chalkin, and that was also the set designer. I knew the set designer sort of socially, I guess that you would say. And many years later, he said to me, he goes, "Well, what did you think?" Because I mean, there was a lot of controversy about this when the movie came out. I mean, it was big.
So people reacted to the gay aspect instantly?
Almost. It was, on a certain level, it was kind of horrific and like a nightmare come true for me.
Really?
Yeah, sure, because, it's I had done Come Back to the Five and Dime Jimmy Dean on Bluray also and the film also, and had gone to the Cannes Film Festival, and we won the Cannes Film Festival and the Golden Bear. And, I mean, I had a lot of notoriety from this film. And, in that film I was raped, and so I had been, at magazines like Advocate and all those kind of gay magazines and whatnot. Of course they wrote huge stories about this because Cher was in it and all that kind of stuff. And they didn't want to interview me, but my agent would allow me to interview anybody for that movie because they did not want anybody to ask me the question. They didn't want anybody to ask me if I was gay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask if you were already out at the time that you filmed Part 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, in my own personal life, I don't think I've ever been in the closet, but I think professionally it was suicide. My first manager, who was not really great, and to be honest with you, your first representation usually is not your best, but the lady gave, they signed me, and then she came over to my house and she said, "I want to look at all your clothes so I can tell you what you can wear to audition." And I said, "Okay, that's what you do, And so she came over, she looked at my closet, she took all my clothes, threw them on the ground, and, sort of butted them up in a pile, and she was like, "Okay, you can wear this and this and this, or leave all of this on the floor and just pick it up and put it on because that's what normal boys do."
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was like so crazy and fucked up that you just were like, but I mean, I believed her. So, you know, I would wear dirty jeans and, you know, whatever to, you know, you would be in a room with a whole room full of, you know, gay people who were all in the closet, and they would all be, you know, terrified that somebody was going to tip the boat. And if you know, I would be asked questions like, you know, would it bother you to pay a gay person? I mean, would you be able to withstand the scrutiny of, you know, people asking you this, and would it make you feel bad? And I mean, what would your girlfriend think of it? I mean, like crap like that. I mean, like constantly. Mm-hmm. And I was expected to appear in public with, you know, with a girl with me and all that kind of stuff. So when Nightmare on Elm Street came out, the underground reaction, the fan reaction, like Fangoria, right, like heavy-duty people, immediately react. Like the New York Times gave this movie an incredible review. It got great reviews all over the world, actually, and I actually got really good reviews. Kim got fantastic reviews, you know, because she looked like Meryl Streep, so we got a lot of press. Mm-hmm. And the obvious, and then the minute somebody mentions it to you, I don't know if you've had this experience, but when you really start looking at it, if somebody said, hey, you know what, this is the homo Nightmare on Elm Street, right? That's what you used to call it. And then you start looking at it through those binoculars, you absolutely start seeing it. And, you know, I talked about this on Never Sleep Again, and you don't really see it all in Never Sleep Again, but with all the transcripts from it. David always denied this. He said, absolutely not. He had not a clue. Now, I know Bob Shea didn't have a clue. You know, Bob Shea is a really good guy, and he didn't, you know, I mean, he dressed up for the gay bar scene. He didn't know he was in a gay bar. I mean, he was just a genuine, like, nice man. And also, I have to say, Jack Shoulders the same way. I mean, there were times that in the past that I, you know, thought Jack set me up a little bit, but, you know, in retrospect, I realized Jack was just like, you know, like sort of a Midwestern guy, and he like had not a clue. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was like he wouldn't film the party scene. I mean, they almost shut down the production because Jack wanted the party integrated. Right. And he wanted to have black kids, and he also wanted to have Asian. He wanted everybody at the party. Mm-hmm. And, you know, not Bob Shea so much, but the producer aspect of the thing was like, no, this is like suburban white thing. You know, these movies are about suburban white kids, and, you know, even though the core audience is everybody of every race, you know what I mean? I learned that certainly because these movies are popular all over the world. And and Jack was like, absolutely, I won't shoot this unless you have it mixed. I just won't do it. And he threatened to quit it over it. You know, I mean, so I don't think that he would have like some hidden agenda. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the two gay guys on the deal did, and it became a joke to them, and they thought it was really funny. And like between the set designer and the writer doing this, and they thought they were very subtle, you know, but they're both kind of not that not a good writer. So I do have a little bit of resentment towards them, but like the pro box.
Right, yeah, in the closet.
That's all the set design. Like, nobody ever asked, hey, do you want to put a pro box in your closet?
Right, and the no chicks allowed sign on the door.
I don't know how sort of graphic I can be here, but...
Oh, please, if you only knew what show you were on, dude, you could say whatever you want.
Okay. If you go to the dream state, you know, when the room is really hot and I'm waking up and everything's melting.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so if everything is built to look like a penis just ejaculated, and it's all that wax is dripping down, you know what I mean? And the candles are burning over and like going soft. And that's the set design. And that was all on purpose.
Wow, I never thought of that.
No, I could give you a lot of little things that you've never thought about, but somebody else has thought of. And then they would write them on the internet. And generally they wouldn't say them in a nice way. And generally they were directed towards me, not towards the set designer, not towards the director, not towards Robert or Kim. It was always me. And it's like, he's such a fag, this, or he's so gay, this, or so. And you know what? I mean, I really was. So, you know, this, like, and I was on my way to being a movie star. You know, I was in there, and I was in the circle, and, you know, this was dangerous stuff for me. To be outed, you know, in that way was, I don't know, something that I really wanted to happen to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the way you want to do it. You know, and I'm thinking about, like you said, you wish you were born in 1978. I think what you're saying is, these days you can make a movie like Brokeback Mountain and nobody really gives a damn. But if you make a movie like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, and it's not even really a gay movie, it's just implied, it's not even flat out said, people are like up in arms about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you don't want to mess with things that people really love. So, you know, it's like, I understand the horror world very well, and I love it. And, you know, and I've really come to embrace it in a huge way. And I also have come to embrace that, you know, like, for lack of a better word, I know it sounds sort of cheesy, but I've really learned to embrace my karma too. You know what I mean? It's like, this, I really believe in my heart of hearts, and this is the way it's supposed to be. Because I cannot tell you the amount of people that come up to me at conventions, send me emails, to talk to me on Facebook, that, you know, feel like I'm very open, obviously, now about life. You know, like, you totally saved me, or you were like my best friend. I didn't have any friends, and I would go home and I would put Nightmare on Elm Street on, and like Jesse was my friend. Guys who will come up to me, and like literally and I don't want to scare any of you off, because please come to me if you're at a convention. But, you know, I've had guys literally stand in front of me and dissolve into tears. I was 15 years old and I loved you. And I couldn't tell anybody, you know, I go to other movies and I wasn't anybody that I thought would actually love me back. But I thought with you, there was a possibility that you would. And it's like, when you get into that when you're a grown-up, you know, when you've grown up and you're like, oh my God, that's like that. I mean, it's super heavy and it's super rewarding, actually. And then when people talk to me about, you know, leaving show business and all that, which I know you'll get to that, but and they say, like, you know, I can't believe you have the courage to go ahead and live your own life and live it. And there was like a plate full of, you know, delicious rewards sitting there for you, but you decided to go another way. But I believe if I would have stuck it out, because I look, you know, we're going to do this thing called the Scream Queens. I don't know if you know about that or not.
Oh, yeah, I saw your Facebook post.
Yeah, and it's in Indiana. I'm going to be in Indiana in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's Leanne and Heather and TJ and TJ Soul from Carrie. Yeah, and Carrie. Like, we all are in movies that the people went on to become Academy Award-winning actors, all of us. The people around us all became huge stars. I mean, it's really kind of interesting, like, say, with Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Like, Heather actually should have been the huge star of Nightmare on Elm Street 1. I mean, like, Heather should have been the one that ended that, like Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right.
But instead, it was Johnny Depp and Robert Englund.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, but only in this Nightmare on Elm Street series did things sort of flip. The only person that really happened in a traditional way was Patricia Arquette.
Right, yeah.
But everybody else, sort of like the person that you expected, wasn't the one that pulled out ahead of the pack. And it's going to be with a lot of different people. And the way it sort of happened was there was a poll, and the poll was the top 100 screen queens of all time. I'm number 3.
Wow. So
Heather's number 4. Jamie Lee Curtis is number 1. Leanne is number 2, and TJ's back there in 40.
Your Scream, of course, the one, well, you have 2 major Screams, the one where you get out of bed, and the classic, the funniest. I mean, it's just the one where you're holding the glove in the shower, and you just go, It was just like the funniest thing ever, but you do deserve it.
Thank you. You know, so by the time that came along, when I'm screaming in that shower, I've been naked in the shower for 2 days.
Wow.
With half a crew, and the crew is male and female both. So I've been in the valley. I'm over in the valley and naked with a glove on, screaming, you know, and with, and these are all my friends. So it'd be like you standing in front of your friends naked, screaming. Because I think the script is funny too, and and I love it now.
Yeah, I love it.
I always say to people, you know, like at a convention, because I get less and less of it now. It's funny now that I'm more back in the world. But people say, oh, you scream like a girl, or, like whatever. And I do this at conventions a lot. I have some really good gloves. And I have one particular glove that would, freak you out. And if you come to Indiana or someplace, you'll see it. Mine are sharp. Right. And a lot of people don't know there were, probably in my movie, there were about 17.
Did you keep, is that an original one?
Well, no, there were all different kinds. There's the original glove. There were 2 original gloves, which you would consider the Freddy.
I mean, from the set, do you still have any of those?
I do have a lot of them from that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I actually donated. Now, I don't have the quote-unquote Holy Grail glove that was stolen. Some of those are monsters, and some of them are plastic when you're shooting. Some of the blades are plastic, some are wood, they're all different. They're made out of different things for different reasons. Like when you're shooting, it's got to go into your body. It has to be. It can't be. They can't shoot razor blades into your body.
Right.
And some of them were so sharp that you shave with. And Robert and I always chose to work with the sharp blade when we were doing close-ups because we thought we should. And he put the blade in my eye. What I do to people who ask me that is I put the blade right up in their eye and we take a picture together. And then I say, okay, now scream like a girl. I'm going to put your eye out. And it's I'm not mean about it, obviously, but it's a centimeter away from your eyeball, and it's as sharp as a needle.
Wow.
And if somebody had that in your face, and I always believed, I tried to give a really honest, true portrayal in Nightmare on Elm Street. If you were all alone in the hall with a
guy peeling his brains out of his head with a knife in your face, would you wake up and scream exactly like that?
Your balls would retreat in your body, and you would scream like a girl too. I guarantee you. You would, or like another famous movie from the '70s, you would squeal like a pig.
Right.
But I thought that really worked, but a lot of people really latched onto that, and boy, did they run with it. Now I love it. Now I think it's just fucking hysterical, and yeah. To do a movie again, I don't know if I would scream like that again. But I'm glad I did the first time, actually.
In Never Sleep Again, a lot of people were this in part 2. Now, this is my favorite one. It has been. It's just the one that stuck with me. It's just, I think it's the best story. I just love it. I love your acting and, Kim, everything about it is just great to me. And so I wonder, what is your personal opinion of part 2? After it was all done and everything, do you think it was one of the worst of the series?
Well, you know what? Here's what I think. And I think time will, tell the story on its one way or another. People are, when it comes to opinions, people are very strange. They a lot of people want to agree with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And Freddy's Revenge in Europe is huge. I can't tell you how huge it is.
Yeah.
I could go to Germany every week if I wanted to. I'm going to London, I'm going to Scotland, I'm going to Paris, and my signature sells for €65, which is about $100.
What?
And I have people who have shrines built to me, and they love Nightmare on Elm Street too. And they love it so much because they're because you know all these conversations, but it's the last time Freddy's with Freddy.
Right.
He's not funny.
Right, yeah.
It's not overplayed. It's all that kind of stuff. And I think that, the sequel was made very quickly to make money. And everybody talked about the rules, but the rules weren't set yet. Most people never wanted to disagree with Wes. And it's sort of whatever Wes Craven said, that was what went. But you have to sort of put it in context. Now, I like Wes a lot. I know his daughter, and I like her, and I respect him tremendously. But the thing is, Wes didn't want a sequel at all.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want a franchise. He didn't want any of it. He wanted there to be Nightmare on Elm Street, and that was it. So he walked away from the table. So he's not going to really like anything, honestly, about the movie, and which is okay. I screen tested for Johnny Depp's part in part 1,
right.
So I knew Wes in that way, and I had gone that far with him, so I know that he didn't dislike me. Because it came really basically down to Johnny Depp or I, or me. But I think that was a political thing inside of that whole deal. And I think when, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 made a lot of money, and it still makes a lot of money.
It made more than the first one.
Oh, God, yeah. It still makes more than Universal. And you'll see when the Blu-ray comes out that it'll make more than the original one did.
And it has the part 3 with it, so it's going to make a ton.
Well, that sort of kills my theorem, but if it were just alone, if it were standalone, I think the reason that they did 2 and 3 together is because they were afraid 2 wouldn't sell.
That's exactly what I said to everybody.
But I think they played their cards wrong, and I also think that Warner Brothers now is like sort of changing their tune, because they, in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, the new Nightmare, they were going to move over part 2 completely and move directly into part 3, and just pretend that part 2 never happened. And that has recently changed. And I really believe that it changed because of Never Sleep Again and the reaction from like the community, because people pay attention, like Hollywood people pay attention to what's going on Facebook, what's going on everywhere. You know, it's like I have 4,000 dedicated users on Facebook, and I keep it at 4,000 because I want to be, that's where I want to be. I don't want to be at 100,000, which I could be, because I don't invite people in. Yeah, I mean, you really sort of have to come to me and there's going to be a reason my Facebook is going to get bigger soon, but I like to answer everybody, and I do, and I think you know that. I mean,
just like you said in the intro, you answer everybody on Facebook.
I do. If you send me an email, you get a reply. If you post something, you get a reply. And it's not just like there's not somebody else hitting the button. Like, and you know, like and my personality is really starting to shine through there. Mm-hmm. And I have a blast. I mean, I never had a Facebook page before. This was set up for me by Never Sleep Again. I didn't know Nightmare on Elm Street was popular in the way that it is. I mean, I knew I got checked.
Yeah, well, that was my next question. Like, what after you left, because like you even passed up acting, you gave up on your whole dream in life. So what made you embrace the movie that did it to you? What made you embrace that 25 years later?
Well, I live, as you guys know, I live in Mexico, and I was pretty far down in Mexico. I've had a very successful life, okay, financially and emotionally and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, good.
You know, I went on to build houses and design them. I'm an artist and a painter, and I came down to Mexico and I became satisfied. I lived in New York and Palm Beach, Florida, and I was just really surrounded by people that I worked for, like uber wealthy people. Mm-hmm. And you know, it's very funny because I could be sitting with the head of a Fortune 500 company. I mean, literally somebody that was worth $100 million, and more than $100 million. And literally about 3 months into the job where I'm like doing their house, or there would come a sheepish moment where they would say, you know what, my grandchild was talking to me, and they said that you are a movie star. Is that true? And because the kids will research you on the internet. Mm-hmm. And I say, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I did a couple of them. Oh, well, here I have your videos. Can you please autograph them? And I mean, they would like humbly ask me to do this. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews. So, and my nephew Jeremy was a professional skateboarder. So, you know, it's sort of like I knew that world. The person who's the filter between me and everybody else's world at this point is my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law, I've known each other since we were like 4 years old. You know, Tommy got my telephone, because I had really purposely disappeared off the face of the earth. I mean, it was very hard to find me. It wasn't an easy task. Let's put it that way. I mean, I'm not listed with the Screen Actors Guild, Actors Equity. There's no agent affiliation. There's no telephone number. There's no nothing. It all leads to the blank wall. And the people from Never Sleep Again looked for me for 2 years. I'm not on the video. I'm not on the commentary for the first one because I don't think they really tried to find me. I mean, they may have half-heartedly tried to find me. Yeah. But they didn't. And so, you know, they kept calling my sister-in-law, and finally my sister-in-law, Cheryl, said, you know, she called me in Mexico, and she said, you know what, these people are really, really nice. And I just think you know, this one time I think you should, you know, give them the courtesy of, you know, calling them back. Because they're really nice, and they've never been anything nice, and they really want to talk to you. So I called them, And they told me what was going down, and I talked to Tommy on the telephone, and I said, well, these are my conditions, you know. It's like I'm not going to BS anything for you. So if I'm going to say whatever I want to say, and I'm going to say it exactly the way that I want to say it, and if you're trying to move this in any kind of direction, then, you know, I'm not the person for you. And they were like, no, we're big fans, and this is it. And I said, okay. They flew Hector, partner, and I to Los Angeles 3 days later, and I shot the documentary, never dreaming what was going to happen next. It's like they were like, well, do you want to build, you know, let us build you a Facebook page so that we can. And so I signed with Re-Evolution, which is a group of people that move actors around for conventions and whatnot. And they put me a Facebook page up, and the next day I had 1,000 people on Facebook. And then the video, and then the DVD came out.
The rest is history.
Yeah, well, almost everybody's changed their opinion. And it's about what, you know, now David's like, oh, yeah. I mean, because originally in Never Sleep Again, David says no, that he did not know.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, I don't know. But then they filmed me, and then they brought him back in, and they played the film part. And, I mean, you know, like sort of like in an old-fashioned Western kind of, like I sort of called him out on the carpet. And I said, you know, this is bullshit. Like, why don't you, you know, admit after all of this time you knew what you were doing? I know you knew what you were doing because your friend told me. You know, the set designer told me. You guys used to go back and forth, you know, set up scenes where I didn't have my clothes on, blah, 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 blah. And I just said all of this, and then so, you know, the guys from Never Sleep Again, they just played in the film. And that's when he said, oh, you know what, I'm sorry, it was, you know, now it was a different time, and yes, it's time to admit that this is different. But before, it didn't.
Here's a question that I'm going to try to get in your headspace here, and I want to know if, do you feel that your sexuality alienated you as a person? Like, I saw a picture of a guy that held up a T-shirt on Facebook and said Jesse's a homo and stuff like that. Like, do you ever wish that people would just think of you as Mark the actor from Nightmare on Elm Street instead of Mark the gay guy from Nightmare on Elm Street? Like, do you ever wish that wasn't always tied in? Like, you could just be yourself and you didn't always have to associate your sexuality?
Yeah. And if I would have chosen a career in acting, you know what I mean, like to continue in that vein.
Yeah.
I'm not outing anybody or anything, but, you know, that's the classic example of that is Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey won't talk about anything. And there's a reason he doesn't talk about his personal life, because he doesn't want his personal life to interfere with what he does as an actor.
Right.
And you know, like, I totally respect that. A lot of people don't. You know, they're like, well, you should, you know, you have to talk about this and you have to talk about that. And we all need to do this. And a lot of people make the decision for you, which I'm like, you know, honestly, 110% against. I don't believe anybody should ever out anybody who doesn't want to be out. You know what I mean? You know, if you want to be, if you want to live in a closet, I mean, everybody knows, like, the names that there's a certain percent of the population that thinks he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And, you know, probably 50% of them are.
Yeah.
But when you have $1 billion, like you're running $1 billion train, you know, or you're worth that amount of money to a movie studio, there are a lot of people telling you things that are probably not in your best interest, but you're a commodity at that point. You're also sort of like an animal because you're hunted constantly.
Yeah.
Now, the paparazzi and the internet, like, nowhere is safe. I mean, it's not safe for, you know, kids anymore to have sex in the bedroom because, you know, somebody may have an infrared camera.
Mm-hmm.
The room, when you're being filmed on your own internet before you know it, you know what I mean? And if you're a normal person, now up the ante on that and you're a movie star and you're in a closet and you don't want anybody to have proof that you're gay, I mean, it makes for a pretty schizophrenic, if you're really, really crazy.
Exactly.
So I'm, you know, I say, you know what, it's okay. Now, I also know I didn't choose that life. So, and when I picked up the mantle again, you know, when I decided to do what I'm doing now, talking with you guys,
mm-hmm.
my roots have changed, I have to say, over the course of, the last couple of years. But I have a quote, and I don't know where I got it from, but I love it. It's like, you take the bricks that people throw at you and you build a firm foundation with it. And so those T-shirts are all from me. Yeah. Those T-shirts come from me. And where the quotes come from are from IMDb. Oh. And they're all said by real people. And all the money goes to the Foundation. But I sell them at conventions, and then the money goes to the Trevor Foundation. And, those T-shirts are all over the world. And they're generally things that people, in a certain way, I just feel like, what, I took my own power back. It's right. So what? You think Scream Like a Girl is funny? Here, I can really make it funny. You think I scream like a girl? I can be a scream queen. And I guarantee you in Indiana on 12:30 on Saturday, you won't be able to get in there. Wow. And if you notice on the picture, the person who's the lead in the picture, and I'm the draw, and it's going to be a blast because we're going to talk about, obviously we're going to talk about our film, and we're going to have a lot of fun because we've talked about it a little bit, and, but the very people that I used to be afraid of, the most afraid of, are the people that I kind of love the most now, and really sort of love me the most. It's I can't tell you how many, guys who would scare me to death, at another time in my life, come to me like, hey, we love you, man, don't let anybody fuck with you, you're real deal, I love Jesse, these guys are married. They're hardcore metalhead horror fans.
Well, before we go, can you tell us a little bit about the documentary you're doing called There Ain't No Jesse?
The line is from where, it's Freddie's line, and it's where he says, yeah, I'm Jesse now. And, Heather, her new documentary, which she just finished, is called I Am Nancy. Right. And it's about how fans really identify with Nancy and all that kind of stuff. And it's really, really good. She did a great job. My documentary is something completely and utterly different. It really, truly is about Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not just but it's why people like Jesse disappear. I am filming, we've already filmed a lot, but I'm going to be on every continent in the world. We're going to choose one person from each continent. I've already done 2 continents. And it's about their Jesse. And I have a Russian kid already that we've already done. It's going to blow your mind when he talks about his life and how, he just decided to just disappear. And then we're taking Nightmare on Elm Street from the beginning to now through the resurrection of quote unquote me into the public eye again, and how society's completely sort of changed. My niece is I just can't believe any of that would be a big deal. My best friends are gay, and I'm well, you're a boy either, so you're not.
Yeah, for some reason it's okay when girls are in society.
Right. Yeah, and also it's okay with girls. You know what I mean? Yeah. It happens between boys is a totally different thing. Yeah. So anyway, that's what the documentary is about. It's very wild.
And when the release date, what do you have in mind?
We have, I think we have another 6 months seriously to complete the filming of what we need to get. Mm-hmm. I'm going to jump ahead of you, and I know we've gone on a lot longer than you anticipated.
It's been great. It's been really great interview.
Oh, thank you. I start filming a movie in September.
Yeah, Noche or something, right?
Yes, it's called Noche, and I start filming it on September 19th. It was written for me when I wasn't in the business. The person had loved Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and the movie is basically about a guy who can't go to sleep, and he is, he becomes insane. It's a thriller. The first part filmed in Berlin. He runs from Berlin to Bosnia, and to a small town in Bosnia, and it's his past that's following him. But it's very dark. It's very scary. The script. It's very small, and it's so weird because the people they can't believe I'm doing it. They absolutely cannot believe I'm making this movie. Yeah. And we signed the contract, and they gave me money, and it's all done. Wow. And and it's so strange to me that I would run away. That's why I'm kind of a strong believer in fate or whatever. I ran away. I made myself very, very difficult at the time. and I moved to a small town in Mexico where I work with poor people and artists. And my entry back into the world of the cinema, it came to me here. And somebody just served it up to me on a silver platter. So I think I would be stupid. And I think I would be not grateful kind of person if I didn't just go ahead and do that movie. Like, when I met the guy, I was like, I can't believe this is happening, you know? And I was like, you know what, on a certain level, I can't believe it's happening either. But it is happening. And, you know, like in 2 weeks, I'm going to Indianapolis, and I can't believe, you know, something I did 28 years ago. You and I are sitting here halfway around the world from each other, having this conversation. But it's happening, and it's, you know, and it's all gathering steam. So,
dude, I can't believe it. Like sometimes I was sitting here, I'm like, I can't believe I'm just envisioning you through the scenes of this movie, and I'm like, I'm talking to this guy. It's like.
My voice is very distinct, isn't it? I mean, most people recognize me by my voice. And also, I've lost 20 pounds since Never Sleep Again.
Oh, wow.
You know, well, first of all, I didn't know I gained 20 pounds.
It's not happening, right?
It just sort of happens in life. And, you know, and it's like, and I hadn't certainly been on camera in a long time. And boy, I mean, those first photos that they shot out, you know, of me and Heather together, I was like, oh my God, who is that person? That can't be me. So anyway, I lost a lot of weight, and I look, amazingly, I just like sort of shed something, and I look, you know, like myself. And yeah, so it's fun. So when people see me at the conventions, they're like, everybody's like, oh my God,
he's back.
You're back. Yes, that's exactly it. And I am that, actually.
Well, he's back. So everybody look for Mark Patton at the conventions he spoke of, and for Noche, and there is no Jesse. I just want to thank you so much for coming on. It was a really great interview and really great talking to you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You know, I had a blast, and I will say this before I go, and it's a total pleasure.
It was great, man.
I like you, and thank you for asking me to do this.
Jesse, my God, what happened?
I killed him. I killed him.
Jesse, my God, you're hurt. What happened?
I killed Grady. I killed Grady. Lisa, I killed Snyder. Oh my God. I'm so scared.
Jesse, what are you talking about?
He's inside me. I'm scared.
Jesse, who is doing this to you?
Fred Krueger. He's inside me, and he wants to take me again.
No. Jesse, this is not happening. It's got to be everything you've taken in. Schneider, the diary, the glove. Only it's all mixed up.
Christ, what do I have to do to make you understand me? Last night he tried to make me kill my sister. I got blood on my hands. He owns me.
Hey, could somebody turn down the heat in the pool?
Yep, that and the other line when the situation in the Bronx Tale when he's all about the Yankees and all that shit.
Situation was in the Bronx Tale?
Yeah, is this... What year was this?
No, not this again. Fucking Jersey boys. Here we go.
Fucking the situation was in Bronx Tale. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Imagine that. No.
I know it's about Italians, but Jesus Christ, it's going too far.
Him. No, there was a situation in the Bronx Tale when he was all about the Yankees and this and that, and then he told him when he was a kid. He goes, "You think that they give a fuck about you, the New York?" I forgot exactly what it is.
Oh yeah. Would they pay your rent and shit like that?
Yeah, that is exactly my father's attitude about all kinds of shit. It's like, and once again, I heard that this type of morality from my father before Bronx Tale come out. It's just like old school Italian way of thinking. He said that to me, that they give a fuck about you. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. I love that shit, and I love that mentality.
Well,
it
makes fucking sense, man. And
right.
those were hardworking guys. Like, I'm sure your dad was a hard worker. You know?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have time to be devoting time to bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. That's what got me in trouble. That mentality got me in trouble with the Rob Zombie. Fucking a guy net worth $40 million, and he's asking basically fucking broke-ass people to crowdfund his fucking new movie. And, Dave made it vocal that he doesn't agree with me. And, as I'm listening to you, Dave, and I'm not flip-flopping here, in a small way, because basically, if he asked for $500... and you're getting a lifetime, I don't know if you're right or not, but if you're getting a lifetime ticket membership or some shit to every one of his concerts for the rest of his life for $500...
Then he retires.
But I don't know if you'll be the 18,000 guy in the back. I don't know where these tickets are. I don't know if they're front row, whatever the fuck. But what I'm saying is, if you're getting like things like that in compensation, that's totally cool.
Yeah, some were good, some weren't so good.
Well, so one was, I will follow you on Twitter. Like,
that's what we said.
Break.
Yeah, $300. Jason said something to us today. He said that somehow, if let's say, like for example, the only Twitter I have is the Banana Laser Show one. I don't have my own Twitter. I just have that. So I mentioned it on the Bites that we did yesterday. What if could that be free not free, but could that be advertising for the show? Can we do things where it would be seen on Rob Zombie's timeline, where people will say, hey, look at this, Banana Laser, what's this? And then one thing leads to another.
Yeah, and I said, please write the word horror podcast in every one of your posts.
Right, of course, right. But still, Alex, Jason said something about there was a way that it would work where we could get exposure because of that. So in certain cases, that could be worth the money.
If he's following you, and you tag him, whatever the fuck it's called on there, with the @ symbol, then people who follow him can see it. That's true.
Okay. Now, how about this? Zach Braff and Spike Lee did the same thing. Crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah.
So, it isn't that odd.
I don't agree with any of it. Sorry. You have $40 million fucking dollars, and your wife, you hooked her up with the most lucrative little fucking deals every time she acted in every one of your goddamn movies, which we're up to like 6 by now. I just don't understand how somebody with that much money, and he's going to be dead soon. That guy's like 50, right? Can't $40 million last you 20 years or whatever?
Nobody wants to put up their own money if they don't have to. Usually the studio back. Look what Hitchcock did with Psycho. You think
he put up his house?
Yes, he didn't want to.
Yeah, but he didn't have $40 million, though. This guy has $40 fucking million, and to film a fucking clown running around killing people, how much does that really take? Come on, you're gonna tell me he's gonna put more than $1 million? Okay, let's just be realistic. $6 million. Okay, I know that seems like a big chunk out of his thing, but let's put it this way, dude. Seriously, fucking put it this way. Let's just say you and your wife have, let's just say you have $20,000 saved up, right? And believe it, and you can't even compare $40 million to $20,000, right? So let's just say you still have $20,000 saved up in your bank, and you want to make a movie. Would you be willing to put $3,000 or $4,000 into the movie?
Of course.
Okay, so why don't he?
Because he's going to end up doing that. How much do you think he's actually going to get out of these fucking jabronis that are putting 300 here, 500 there?
So why fucking bother? Why bother with the bullshit? Why send shit out, sign this, send... Who'd want to waste their time with that, though?
Did you listen to what I said on the Bites? For $50...
I might fell asleep at that part.
Okay, it's fine. Fall asleep all you want, but listen. For $50, he's giving people autographed copies of 31 when it drops. If you were to go to a convention, that's what you would pay. He doesn't do conventions. For $15, you're getting a keychain and a fucking coaster and some... These are things that you could buy if you wanted to go to, let's say, Rob Zombie's website.
What's the point? Why is he even bothering, though? That's the other question.
Now, because if you're buying these things, not only do you get the merch that you wanted to buy anyway, because it's the price you'd pay anyway, you're also getting the feeling that you are contributing to the fucking cause of the movie.
Feeling.
Why not? I think about it. Wouldn't you? Don't you think it's nice?
Am I going to get any of those dividends when that movie makes a ton of money and the cash starts rolling in? Fuck no.
No.
But I got a keychain, motherfucker.
Yeah, you got a keychain, but guess what? Rob Zombie just made fucking $12 million because you funded his shit and you got a fucking keychain. You know, when you do fucking investments and shit, Dave, in real life, and you put investors, when they do shit like that, they ain't doing that because they're nice people. They're doing that because they want shit back. They want to give you 5,000 or 10,000 or 30, and they want 70 back.
There's a few ways to look at it, I think, and I don't think in the grand scheme of things it matters. It's not that much money. People are not going to put that much money down, and it's like anything else that you crowdfund. Why does this have to be any different? Just because it's Rob Zombie? Do you motherfuck Spike Lee and Zach Braff too? Because they did it?
Fuck Spike Lee. Sure.
Well,
I am more apt to fund an independent, and I do. I actually fund quite a few. I've funded quite a few independent projects, but it's because they don't have the resources to get big funders and investors like famous people.
Yeah,
do.
but you know what? People don't want to fund. Look what happened last time.
Well, then what does that tell you? If you can't find investors and you already are Rob Zombie,
right?
And you can't find big time investors to give you money, maybe there's a reason for that.
Yeah, Lords of Salem. No,
that's unfair to say. Okay, Jamie, you liked Lords of Salem, correct?
I did, yes, I
but
did.
But it's not for everybody, and Jamie knows that. You can't make fucking movies that are for 2% of the fucking public. What the fuck kind of shit is that? Nobody wants to invest in that.
This fucking movie's not for everyone either, obviously, but he lost $1 million on Lords of Salem. The fucking movie lost money, but I'm damn glad the movie was made. Why make the same mistake twice? People aren't going to invest. He doesn't want any involvement from the studio. Why not do it this way and see what you can get? And like I said, at the end of the day, what's he going to get at the most? 10 grand out of fucking, let's say, what you said, $6 million? That ain't dick.
What's the point? Yeah, number one, what's the point? It's stupid to even bother with this, number one. You're not going to get enough to make it worth your while to even waste your time sending fucking keychains to people. It's just stupid, dude. And, you know, like I don't know. I think you should just have on his website, fuck it. Why not just have on your website, here, buy the movie with my autograph on it for $50. Like, why even the crowdfunding shit, dude? Dip into your own shit, believe in yourself, spend your own money, since I guess nobody's willing to invest. I don't even know why this is happening. What's wrong with the guy? Is nobody willing to bank on this guy?
He doesn't want their involvement. He didn't want their involvement with Lord of Salem either, because the shit that he makes isn't the type of movie that comes to the theaters. That's why Lord of Salem was such a limited run. You know what I'm saying?
So then, if you want to do that, what's wrong with saying just do, like, straight up pre-ordering? Pre-order this DVD right now, and then, but, up the price a little bit. Like, say, so
$27.
Make it, sure.
That's
and
it.
then, so all you're doing really is in pre-ordering a movie that if you're a fan, you would buy anyway.
Right.
To me, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that could work too. That's fine, yeah. I'm not disputing that.
Okay, Dave, I'll tell you what. It comes off weird that a guy who has more money than we'll make if we live to be 362, that he needs us, who people who make $25,000 a year, people who make 60, if you're fucking lucky in this day and age, people who make $49,000 a year, we got to give him our fucking money, dude. Like, what the? Haven't we given you enough that you acquired 40 fucking million? Like, why do we have to give you more money? You didn't even do anything yet.
You're missing the point that the studio usually pays for it. The director does not pay for it.
All right, but he has enough to pay for it right now. He has enough that he could be secure in the idea that if he gives $6 million of his 40, he doesn't even need he don't need the less 30 of it. He doesn't need 30 of his $1 million. So why not just put 6 into something that's guaranteed to make that back?
Why is it guaranteed to make anything back? He lost money on Lords of Salem. He'll probably lose money on this.
Because that was too fucking weird. Now you're just doing
this
a regular...
is probably the same thing, though. You think it's going to be regular? If it was regular, I think that the studios would be jumping at it.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just, fucking... I don't think it's hurting anyone.
It's not, because he's not forcing anyone to do anything. If you want to help him crowdfund his film, then you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So he's not...
Well, no one's saying that. No one's forcing that.
So, it's totally your choice to do it or not, and I guess that's fine. He's putting it out there, and then you can choose to or not. But so in the end, he's not really hurting anyone. It's just,
you know?
I don't know. Pretty soon, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like everything is going to be this way before you know it.
Okay, let's put it this way, Dave. Yeah, if a guy with $40 million has to crowdfund, what the fuck does that say for Robert Russler, who wants $2 million to make a movie, and he puts up an Indiegogo or some shit, Kickstarter? What does that say? Like, at some point, you're letting us know that you don't even need this, but you just want us to fucking pay your shit.
Well, the movie's going to be made regardless. No matter what happens, the movie's going to be made, and basically it's like a sale for things that are going to be sold anyway. So why not, instead of it lining the pocket of whoever, it goes directly to the fund of the movie? Why not? Like he's selling a T-shirt.
It's just not normal. Dude, we don't normally pay people to make movies. That's just not normal. Like, there's 1 billion movies getting made every year, and I don't have to pay you to do that. That's your shit. You handle your shit. Like my girlfriend owns a dance studio. You got your own shit. If you want to work for somebody, then you get paid by them. If you want to open up your own business, then you pay your rent. And you pay whatever costs you got to do to open that business. That's your fucking problem. It's not anybody else's problem. It's just ridiculous to ask somebody else to pay for something you're doing. How is that my problem? I got my own bills to pay.
Yeah, fuck, we all do, absolutely. And I'm not funding anything. But I'll tell you what, if I wanted to buy a $20 fucking 31 iPhone case, I could do it if I want one. Because you can get them, and you can only get them in this opportunity. So what's the difference? Let's say I want one, I'm going to buy it. What's the difference where the money's going to go?
What do you mean
Either
iPhone
way,
case? What do you mean?
It's going to a corporation. That's what I'm saying. He's got little things like that on there, T-shirts, art cases, fucking, DVDs, Blu-rays signed, shit like that, hoodies. It's just stuff that all movies sell for anyway. Anytime a movie comes out, you see the merch being sold on the sites, and who gets that money? The studio, and whatever percentage the director might get. Who even knows? But in this case, you know that this is going directly to funding the film. That's why I don't see it as being bad.
I'm more into the Hitchcock way of thinking. If you believe in shit, then you put your own shit up. And Rob Zombie is far more wealthy than Hitchcock, or fucking Alfred Hitchcock. You know what I mean? Like, he's far more wealthy than that. Alfred Hitchcock put his house up. Rob Zombie won't even go near the house. He'll be at the fucking top of the crop, skimming off the top of his... He makes more money in interest than you will. He'll make more money in a week in interest of $40 million than you'll make in 3 years of working. And you're going to give him your fucking money.
So what's worse, buying a $40 fucking Criterion Blu-ray, or fucking buying a $20 DVD from 31 and having the money invest the film? It's the same shit.
The only thing I think is worth it is if you buy the DVD, or I obviously want a Blu-ray. We're not living in 1997, but
it's $60 for the Blu-ray. That's what.
Okay. So I imagine an director's autograph would cost $40. Cause
sure, why not?
Yeah, losers are charging $30 now.
Right, exactly. Go to a fucking convention.
But you get to meet them, number one. You get a picture with them, number two. There's different things to this. But, okay, let's just say, I think the only worthwhile thing here is if he's charging, let's say, $50 for an autographed Blu-ray. That's it. Because you're still getting the movie, and you're getting an autograph. That's it.
Right.
I don't know.
No, I hear you. I think we just have a difference in opinion on the motivation. I don't think the motivation is in particular greed. I think, obviously, it's helping them, but I think it's also something where the fans are involved, and, this is where they're getting the merchandise. And in the end, they can say
Can you get an unautographed Blu-ray for a cheaper price? I don't actually know. I haven't paid attention to what the perks are, but is there... Because I wouldn't pay $60 for an autographed Blu-ray. I'm not interested. I don't care.
I agree. Neither would I.
So that's not an option that I would choose regardless. But now if there was a $30, or no, I wouldn't even pay that. But if there's like a maybe $25 Blu-ray, if I know that the money is going toward the film, I might be willing to do that. But I'm not gonna pay $60 just because his autograph is on it. I don't care. I don't give a shit about autographs. That's just
Right, neither do I.
I just don't happen to care about that, you know. And I don't happen to have an extra $60 laying around all the time that I can just throw at something that I wouldn't have, that I wouldn't want otherwise, you know.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, if it was something that I'd be buying anyway, like I totally get that, and that's why I say just a flat out, like a straight up pre-order. I don't have $60 to throw at a pre-order. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's ridiculous because he wrote, and God, you know, you've seen this shit in movies and fucking reality shit. Like they hand it to everybody sitting in the back of the fucking limo, and they're all signing it, and they're saying it's Rob Zombie. You know what I mean? Like who the fuck knows?
This is true.
The obvious question is, why are you crowdfunding? Why are you doing this? You've made other movies with studios. You've never done it before. And it kind of goes back to what I mean, it's a question I ask myself, too. But, you know, as the years go on, the game changes all the time. And a movie that you could get made years ago, you cannot get made anymore because the business changes, things change. And I've noticed that there's also a lot of aspects of the crowdfunding that were sort of taking place already, where, you know, people always want to buy props or own a piece of the movie or somehow be involved after the fact, whereas after the fact, there's not that much to be involved with. So what I liked about crowdfunding, because it wasn't something I, like most people, it's new to them, is I thought, well, this is a way to get a movie made that you know the fans want, that studios are a little iffy on, and they can be involved, too, in a way that is a way that they would like to be involved through, you know, things that have gone on in the past that I've noticed. So it seems sort of like a logical progression for a film like this, because this is the type of stuff people always say, well, why don't you make movies like this? Why don't you make movies like that? And I always say, because no one will give you the money to make movies like that anymore. I mean, the business changes. Like, going back to Devil's Rejects, nobody would give me the money to make that movie now, because that's got to be the most frequently asked question. So that's why, at some point, you know, you end up in this scenario, because if you want to do stuff outside the system, you got to function outside the system.
Oh, Charlie Bones, about 15 years ago, one night he finished dinner and he excused himself from the table. Yeah. Well, so then he went outside and got himself a hacksaw.
Old Charlie Bones, about 15 years ago. One night he finished dinner and he excused himself from the table. And he went out to the garage and he got himself a hacksaw.
Hey guys, this is Alex Aronson, creator and writer of Sting the Movie. And you guys are listening to the Skeleton Crew.
Alright, now we're reviewing Let the Right One In, 2008. This movie starring Carl Hedtebrandt, Chloe Moretz, no, I'm just kidding.
What? Oh, okay.
Lena Linderson, and all these other people are like really foreign, so you're not going to know any of them, so...
Wait, so you said Chloe. Chloe's not in...
No, it was a joke. I said just kidding.
Oh, Moretz.
The remake, man.
Yeah, man. No, this is the original.
Yeah.
Remake.
Original gang.
Storyline. Oscar, a bully 12-year-old dreams of revenge. He falls in love with Ellie, a peculiar girl. She can't stand the sun or food and comes into the room she needs to be
I ain't doing what you, Daddy. I know, right? I ain't doing what you
Is that your Swedish accent?
She needs to be invited. Eli gives Oscar... I can't concentrate when I'm trying to do the accent.
Keep going, this is great.
Eli gives Oscar the strength to hit back, but when he realizes... Now I'm an Indian.
Or Dr. Evil.
When he realizes that Eli needs to drink other people's blood to live, he's faced with a choice. How much can he forgive? Wait, how much can love forgive? Set in Stockholm suburb of Blackburg in
All I want is sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their frickin' heads.
1982 this takes place. So, that's it. Okay. Now, Dave, you have said on Banana Bites, I believe.
Banana Bite.
This movie, Let the Right One In, is your all-time favorite vampire movie ever.
Oh, please.
Yes, and I stand behind that.
Oh, please.
Of course it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you know why? Because that's what it says on the cover.
What?
I don't love when people do that.
They stole that shit from me. I saw that movie.
It's a classic masterpiece, Rolling Stone. Oh, I mean Dave Z.
Yeah. Someday we'll have those props. What we say will be on fucking Blu-ray covers. Yeah.
Hey, ours was one time.
That's right. What was it? Skeleton Crew said something on, what was that? You're right.
What's it called? No One But Gets Out Alive or something?
No one here gets... Okay.
So why is this your favorite vampire movie ever? How could you possibly... And I'm not saying this in a mean way, I'm just asking.
No.
How could you possibly put this above, like, Bram Stoker's Dracula even, or the Hammer Draculas, or Son of Dracula, or Lost Boys, or Twilight?
Okay.
He said Twilight. He said Twilight.
Fright
Night. Okay, you know what? Here's the deal.
You said ice cream.
Motherfucker said ice cream. I love you, Jim.
I'm not very much into the vampire genre. It's just because to me there just hasn't been that many that have impressed me. I confess, the Hammer movies, I'm going to give them a second chance now that I'm older. But when I was younger, I tried to watch them, and it was just too much dialogue. It just fucking bored me.
Me too. I hate the vampire.
I'm not going to say I hate it. Because
I do.
I respect Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing and all that. I really do. And the sets, they look nice and everything. I think now I can appreciate it that I'm older. And I will go back and watch them. Maybe a year from now I'll say, oh, geez, I didn't know what I was missing. But at this point, because I kind of blew off the Hammer stuff and... You know, yeah, you're a big fan of you guys all are, the original Dracula, in a matter of speaking. They did the review. Well, you like the classic universal fucking...
I prefer the Spanish Dracula over the real Dracula. I mean, over the Lugosi Dracula. But...
Yeah, we kind of trashed that.
But that's what I'm saying. So you trashed that. Okay, so let's cast Dracula aside. I respect it for what it is in Lugosi. Okay, whatever. And the Hammer, I explained why. There isn't a whole hell of a lot. Fright Night... yeah, that was a good movie.
Nah, that wasn't that good.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, but I mean,
I love Fright Night, and you guys can suck it.
No, but that's different though.
How about Lost Boys?
Okay, here it is. Here's Lost Boys. This is a fine fucking film. Let the right one in. Comparing Lost Boys to this is like comparing, and I'm not dissing the Lost Boys, but it's like comparing fucking The Goonies to Suspiria. And I'm not knocking any of those four movies. I love The Goonies. I love The Lost Boys. But they're not fucking on the level of a Suspiria or of a Let the Right One In. To me, these are just fucking fine films all around. It's just a different level of enjoyment.
Mm-hmm. I got you, bro.
Did you see Kiss of the Damned?
Was that the one with, No, that was Embrace of the Vampire. No, I did not see Kiss of the Damned.
Yeah, very different.
Embrace of the Vampire, oh, Jesus.
Kiss of the Damned came out. It was actually my #1 movie for last year.
That's the one I was meaning to ask because okay, I'm going to watch it. Thank you.
So good. If you enjoy this film, then I think you will really love Kiss of the Damned.
Right on. Well, I'll check it out.
Do you ever see The Midnight Sun?
What are you talking about? Twilight Zone?
Oh, wow. No, there's actually, yeah, you're right. But yeah, there's a movie called The Midnight, or just Midnight Sun, I don't know. It's like a 2011 indie horror movie. We reviewed it on the same show that we interviewed John Amplas on.
The Midnight Sun?
I have not seen it.
It's a good movie. Oh, Jimmy, you would love it, dude. It's kind of a realistic take on it and how he retrieves the blood. He meets a dude and pays him because he works at a hospital, so he just, he's got a deal with him going on. Everybody's got their thing, man.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I love that movie. It's a great vampire flick.
I still have it, Dave, if you want to see it.
Oh, wait.
Dave.
This is a Skeleton Crew episode and I can't remember this happening is what you're telling me?
Like this has never happened before, Dave. Oh, it just slipped my mind. I'm the biggest
You know what, Dave?
fan
I
ever.
wasn't on that episode, so it's perfectly understandable.
Oh, God.
Ha!
The crew didn't start till till 41.
Right?
But I know I've heard every fucking show twice. I know that for a fact. How come I don't remember The Midnight Sun? Alex, what was the name of that episode? What was that episode called?
John Amplas basking in the midnight sun. I told
Is that
him
what it is? I was like, really?
I'm sure I made some witty title for it. Let me say.
Twister in the Sun.
Oh, it is a witty title, because I actually stole, it's not witty, but I stole this from Scooby-Doo, one of my favorite episodes of Scooby-Doo. I decided to title this Vampires, Bats, and Scary Cats.
Oh, that was October of the first year, wasn't it?
No, this is in the summertime, man.
That's when Dave heard it, though.
Yeah, you heard it in October.
I definitely heard it, yeah.
Huh?
What was it like? Was it in the teens?
27. It came out August 11, 2012.
Okay, I'm listening to that shit tomorrow, just because.
Well, no, don't. You should watch the movie. I think it's a spoiler review. Yeah.
Okay, so Midnight Sun is what it's.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I mean, I'll buy it for you.
Hey, brother.
Midnight Sun, Kiss of the Damned.
This is your favorite, dude. Then definitely check that one out. I don't think it'll fucking match. Whether I win, but it's definitely close, bro. It's one of those fucking low-budget indie flicks that's really done well, and it's a great story, and I think it's right up your alley, especially if this is your favorite vampire movie.
I'm down, man. Well, listen, if I can surpass it, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
of
brother.
course I want to have something that good, if not better.
Yeah, I don't think it'll surpass, but definitely.
What is your guys' favorite fucking vampire movie? Let's hear it.
This.
Dan also. Okay, there you go.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Get the fuck out of here. You never mentioned that once.
Well, are you kidding me? I
never asked him.
Did the movie just die? Is that
know.
why he's mentioning it now?
The director fucking died, dude.
This movie died. It's the greatest vampire movie ever.
No, to me, it's my favorite. What else is beyond it? See, the only thing that matches it for me is 30 Days a Night, which I think is some of the creepiest fucking vampires on screen, dude.
Yeah,
And,
I agree with that. I love the fact that those vampires are animalistic and just, I mean, they were raw and brutal.
Yeah.
The vampires were cool. The movie kind of fell a little flat, I thought. I think Stakeland was a better movie, if you want to say.
Stakeland is so good.
I love Stakeland. Stakeland's up there. Now, Alex, what's your favorite vampire movie?
I don't know. I never thought about it. I'm not into vampires, really, so...
Well, you like Lost Boys, though, so that's
Well, you know what? I don't think that's that amazing, though. I liked it a lot the third time a lot. And that was the last time I saw it, but...
Well, we're talking about our favorites, though, aren't we? The best favorite. It's all fucking in the eye of the beholder, I guess, but
I like the Bram Stoker remake one with Keanu Reeves. It's a typical answer, but...
Is Gary Oldman in that one?
Yeah, and I thought it was good.
I never saw
watched it, I confess.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
You never seen it?
Never appealed to me.
No.
It's really good. You should watch it. And I like Son of Dracula, 1943. That's probably one of my favorites ever.
That was fun, yeah. I like it.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Midnight Sun, I guess. I don't know.
What about you, Jamie? Is it Kiss of the Damned?
It's Kiss of the Damned. Yeah, that film redefined what vampires should be about. I think it's smart.
Shit.
It's well written. It's beautiful, and I don't mean like Stitch is beautiful. I don't mean that. I mean, it's beautifully done. It's shut up. Just shut up.
Fucking JP.
And it's sexy as hell too. I mean, really
Is it?
sexy.
Ooh, yeah, baby. Let's get those condoms out. No, you know what I think Jamie's favorite vampire movie is? The one with the guy from 90210, Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Well, you know, I do actually really like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it's not my favorite by far.
Yeah, I forgot Luke Perry and fucking
Christina Swanson.
Yes.
Oh, Samsonite.
I've never watched the show ever. Buffy show.
Such a good show, dude.
What, 90210?
Yeah.
Perry was in it. That's why I watched it. You know?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Oh no, it's a great show, dude. It's one of those shows that if you are a fan of like the Avengers and shit, if you like that and what else has he done? I think Firefly, I believe, which I never saw. Not a lot, but he did Cabin in the Woods. I mean, he wrote that, so you can get that kind of wit.
Oh, Joss Whedon, is that him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a genius, I think.
I thought Josh Wheaton's the guy who played the Terminator in the newest Terminator.
No. Well, maybe Josh Whedon did, but Joss Whedon is who we're talking about.
What about Will?
I love you, Alex. Dude, oh my God, I watched the...
And it had Sandra Melissa Gilmore, right? Is it?
yeah, exactly. Michelle Trachtenberg. No, she actually really is in it.
Did Darren Bousman direct it?
Yes, he did. Exactly. Brother's Day.
Good.
Joss Whedon, right? Okay, he's fucking... I think he's great. He did Avengers. He directed it. I think Avengers is a great fucking movie. The comedy in it, I mean, it's great. Whatever, this and that, the other thing. It's reflected in Buffy like tenfold. But I came across... Please, everybody look this up. Maybe I'll even post it. It's on YouTube. It's the unaired CW version of Wonder Woman. Oh my... Dude, this was a few years ago, dude. They tried to get Wonder Woman off the ground. It is the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen, dude.
I read the script for that, and it was terrible. Really bad.
Yeah, dude, it's the whole episode, Dave, is on YouTube. I will send it to you guys. Now, here's the thing, though.
Who plays Wonder Woman?
How do we always get to superhero talk?
Because
Jesus Christ.
It's so ridiculous, dude. It's so ridiculous. Anyways,
so I guess we'll get to let the right one in then. So
let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, 15 minutes in, I guess we should stop asking Dave why he likes it. And
might as well, right? Hey, we mentioned some good vampire flicks, though, dude. I mean, those are pretty much the top ones. I mean, are we missing any? I mean, you know, New Moon. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 was really good.
That's what I'm saying.
New Moon, yeah.
But don't you think, though, like the Lost Boys, it kind of falls into the same category as like Goonies? Do you understand?
Yeah, because Corey Feldman's in it.
Yeah.
It's just that type of fun, though. I mean, granted, what's his name is fucking badass. He steals the show. Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland? Oh.
Yeah, steals the fucking show. Badass vampire. One of the best performances ever of a vampire.
Coming back in May, baby, Jack Bauer.
Oh, boy.
Yeah!
I do, yeah. Jack Bauer. But anyway, now I'm done, Jeff. The Goonies, Lost Boys.
Contain your enthusiasm.
This girl moves in to this weird, like, apartment type place. This blonde kid gets bullied at school. Then the first thing you see is this man kills and drains a kid in the park or something in complete light, upside down, hanging in a tree while people are walking around, dogs are running around, and this guy's, like, gutting a kid right in public.
Well, it's not light.
It was pretty bright out.
He kidnaps the guy. Hold on.
You can see what's going on.
Hold up. When the scene begins, the guy is walking and the other guy is there, and he asks him, he says, do you have the time? And he says, no, I don't have a watch. And then the guy says,
that's so creepy!
And he has that chloroform shit, and then he knocks him out. At that point in the movie, it's light. Then the scene cuts, and then they're in the woods, and then it's dark. So
it is dark, but there are street lamps. And he's out in the woods in the snow, which means that it's going to be bright because it's in the snow.
Right.
Like even in the dead of night, if there's snow on the ground, you can typically see what's going on. Plus, if you're watching that scene where he is like hanging him upside down, slicing his throat, like I guess he's like he needs kosher blood. You can see you can see cars.
He killed a Jew?
No, I was just kidding. Like, you know, if a rabbi were to kill him, it was a joke.
Jamie.
You can see cars driving by in the distance.
Right, and there's people walking through these woods. It can't be that late.
I don't think it's daytime. I think it's the evening.
No, it's not daytime. It's just he just doesn't try. I think it's kind of odd that he doesn't try very hard to go to a very secluded place. You know, it's kind of an active place. Yeah, and that is actually explained because he ends up having to abandon the project.
Exactly.
No,
it was urgency, though. He was there because it was a matter of urgency.
It was. You're right.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Right. That's what I was going to say, Dave. Good call, bro.
Yeah. She needed to feed. They just gone through the trip and everything else. And, you know, remember how pissed she gets when he gets back and it's botched and she's fucking yelling at him in that deep voice.
I would love to know that.
You know? She really needed to feed, so dude just had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, that's totally true. Totally true. But I think what we get throughout the film is that as it goes along, he is losing his touch.
That's it. He's becoming more desperate.
I mean, he's getting too old for this shit.
Danny Glover.
Yep.
And it's you can see that. I mean, he's been with her for a very long time doing this. And you imagine that he was better at it back in the day, but he's beginning to lose his touch. And I think there's not just that it's physically demanding on him and he's getting old, but it's also disheartening to him. I think he's getting to the point where he just can't really do it anymore,
and that's reflected in the second one too, Jamie. Technically he does better on this one than he does the other one with the fucking kid in the locker room. So it's indicative of that he's losing. Oh, totally. Yeah, exactly. But it's just indicative of him losing his touch, and it's very clear that whether he succeeds the first time or vice versa, whatever, he's losing his shit, dude. He's not the fucking spry young man he used to be. And like I said, don't they make him the boyfriend in the book or something like that? They made him the next boyfriend or no?
Nope. No.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you. If you want me to talk about it, I will. If not,
well, I heard he was a child molester, but I also heard that he was a fucking old boyfriend of hers and something like that. So.
No, it's based upon the book, and in the book he was a pedophile.
Okay, so nothing. So I'm totally off.
No, you said he was a child molester. Cool. So
right, but the other part. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that somewhere. But.
And basically, he feeds her, and basically. He was a teacher at one point, and he had lost his job because he found child pornography or something like that. Ooh. And then now that he's basically homeless, and she provides him basically with money. Basically, it's the exchange.
Where does she work?
Blood. He wants more. Where does she work? The fucking circus.
Wait, so the only reason he worked for her was money?
Well, he also wants a piece too. And she basically just kind of plays it off and doesn't ever really give him anything, but just hangs with him, and it's like good enough for him because he's the fucking, because he's the pedophile. So he's just happy to be there, A, and B, she supports him monetarily.
That's fucked up, man, right?
Yeah, it is fucked up.
See, and he's also not very good at disposing of bodies, as we discover when when she does kill the one guy, and then he goes to do cleanup after, and he just sort of dumps him in the aqueduct or whatever. And then if they wouldn't have found him as soon as they did because he was frozen under the ice. But if they hadn't been out there, they wouldn't have found him. But they did. I still think I'm like, you've been doing this long enough to know that's not a very good job, But I think he was just getting to the point where he just, is close enough for government work.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So what do you guys think about how, they add mythology to the vampires? Not too much. Just one of them is being that she's always cold, and I think that's pretty normal, I think. But then that she stinks, the guy doesn't want her around. He's like, you smell, can you get lost? The blonde kid.
Yeah, no, why is that, you guys think?
He just says it the one time, right? He's like, how can you smell funny or something?
Yeah, right.
But then he makes her take a bath later on. Well, he doesn't make her,
but
he introduces her to bathing.
Yeah, she hasn't learned that in 300 years that you should take a bath.
She's just forgotten. She doesn't think about it, man. And it's not that she's cold. She's not cold. She's walking around barefoot in the fucking cold.
Right?
Yeah, and then she even asked him. He even says something at one point. I think he asks her. He goes, "Aren't you cold?" And her response is, "I've forgotten how to be."
I think. I presumed Alex was meaning cold to the touch, but
right.
Like
when she climbed into bed with him, right?
But
right.
Well, even it's if you imagine if you were immortal and you lived for a really long fucking time, you'd get to the point where you wouldn't be doing the same things that you do every single day.
No.
Every single day.
Jamie, I haven't brushed my teeth in 3 years, and I'm a normal guy.
All right. Well, then there's that.
Yeah. Well, how about this? When they had the mythology of, obviously everybody loves that they answered the question, why do you have to be invited into a room? That was an awesome answer to that. But before we even get there, how about when they added mythology that she can't eat anything besides blood just because she wanted to befriend this kid? She eats his candy knowing she'd get sick.
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
That's great, right?
Yeah. So what do you guys think of the invite thing, though?
I love that. That is a really amazing. It goes beyond what your typical vampire film. They just tell you, well, they can't come in, But you never have ever seen a vampire attempt to thwart that and do it anyway. And so what we get here is her proving to him what would happen.
And I love that. And I also love that he stops her. You know, I mean, he at this point is very displeased to discover that she's a vampire. Like it hurts his feelings that she has to kill people to survive. Yeah. And he doesn't like that. But then when he sees that it's hurting her, and then he stops it. And that right there shows exactly how much he cares for her, because he doesn't, regardless of what she is, he doesn't want her to hurt. Right. And I love that whole, I mean, just the blood starts leaking out, and it's just, it's really kind of brutal, and it kind of makes me sad. It makes me squirm a little bit, because I'm like, oh, that's got to be fucking painful, you know? I mean, you can tell. I like the kid too. I mean, I understand she's a vampire, but I like her.
She really had a dick. That's another myth.
Yeah, what about that? Okay, so he looks at her changing, and I don't know what you guys saw. I don't know what version is, if it's different or not, but what I saw was like a Ken doll type or a Barbie blank vagina with like these weird like vein zigzags on it or something. I don't know what I was looking at.
It was a scar. It was a scar.
Yeah.
It was,
it was a cock that used to be there?
Yeah,
They go into that a little bit in the book. They make it a little more clear.
That's what I heard, yeah.
And what is it about, Dave? You read the book.
Just that he was castrated upon being turned into a vampire. It was part of the, when it happened. That was one of the things that went along with it.
It's in medieval times, though, mind you, correct?
It was 200 years ago, I believe.
Oh, that's it?
If I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was earlier. Okay, I'm sorry.
I could be wrong. I didn't read the book.
No, Dave, I could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
No, I mean, I think you're right, Dave. I mean, I read the book too. I mean, I think that's about right. And so then we get that moment, like before all of that, like before he even sees what it is, and she's like, would you still like me even if I wasn't a girl?
No, he asks her to go steady, and she says, I'm not a girl, and he goes, that's okay, can we go anyway? This guy's not too picky, man.
He looks like a girl too.
Yeah.
Why do they have a girl playing the part, though?
I'm glad. Well, see, that's what I like about it, though. I got a question for you. Now, there are a couple lines, and we just talked about one a minute ago, too. But there are a lot of lines that, what's that? What are those words? It's like a double entendre. Is that what it is? Like, it could basically mean one of two things. And that is, it could imply that, would you like me if I was a guy? Or it could imply that, would you like me if I was a vampire?
That's what I thought, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when she says that at that point, we don't know any different.
Exactly. Right. And that's what I'm saying about, being cold and stuff like that. And,
Wait, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Okay, I'm lost here. So Chloe Moretz plays this character? Clearly, like this other girl, okay, it might be a feminine-looking guy, but Chloe Moretz is clearly a girl. So what's with... Why do they cast a girl to play a young boy vampire? I'm not understanding that.
Because in the American version, they don't touch upon that.
Right.
They don't have that scene with the castration.
Correct.
It's too heavy for American audiences. They don't do that. They just basically said, it's a girl, deal with it. They didn't even touch upon that aspect.
Well, and I think but there are a lot of, in the book and in the original version of this film, there are a lot of political undertones. Mm-hmm. That really only play to Swedish audiences because it's about Swedish politics.
Gotcha.
And so there are things that go on in this film that in the original version that wouldn't make sense to American audiences on the level that they're intended to make sense to Swedish audiences because it's allegory. And that's actually a reason that or at least what I read about at the time was that that everyone was saying this movie was sure to get an Oscar nod, but it didn't. And it's because the foreign countries have to submit their films, and Sweden did not submit this film because of the political undertones that is within it. Wow. And so because of that, I mean, and an American audience or any other audience that doesn't necessarily get what they're saying politically, and I admit that, like, I have no idea what's going on with Swedish politics.
But it's 82,
and it's 1982, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like, I don't know, but
right.
So it doesn't mean anything to me, and I don't find it offensive. But apparently, in Sweden, some of the things that they did were considered, I guess, not as much offensive as undermining the government, statements.
Right.
There's so much going on. There's characters, there's friendship, there's love, there's bullying, there's fucking the topic of being fatherlessness, the situation with him and his father and everything. There's so much going on. There's characters, the adults, just everything. The situation with the bullying and the children, everyone involved. This movie is fucking intense. And then add that to it. You don't even need that, but that's just one more thing about the movie that makes it, like I said before, a fine film.
And that's what this is, even with the Rubik's Cube, dude. It's an innocent thing or whatever, but knowing what you know and she's a vampire and stuff like that, you wonder if, like, she's playing dumb and she's definitely seen a Rubik's Cube before and that's how she finishes it. I mean, how does she? Maybe she's just been around so long that she's actually pretty damn smart. I mean, there's so many...
Vampires are traditionally good at puzzles. I mean, that's like...
Is that it?
No, it's true. I mean,
it
is an aspect of vampirism that people don't often talk about.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
but like
Don't you remember Dracula?
Yeah, you ever see him do the crossword puzzle in the newspaper?
Right.
No. Like one of the bits, like if you have there's actually an episode of the X-Files with a vampire, and every time they find a victim of this vampire, the shoelaces have been untied. And it's because if a vampire comes across something like that, they have to stop and untie the shoelaces. They can't let something go undone. So like with puzzles, they have to solve puzzles. There's like an old piece of folklore that says if you don't want a vampire to come in, then you hang a sieve over the keyhole, and they have to stop and count the holes in the sieve before they can then enter your house, and by that time it's morning and they have to go home. I mean, it's just
that's funny.
It's just that they are traditionally, and that's something that's very subtle here. They don't actually come out and say, hey, vampires are great at puzzles, but the thing is that they do that sort of thing, and I'm not sure why. Like, I don't know if it's just a product of being around for so long.
Well, she was up all night doing it.
Well, that's true. Well, Rubik's Cube is hard, dude.
It is. I never... She says it too. She's like, the key is to match up the corners. Like, she knew what was up.
Yeah. The scene where he's goofed up again, he tries to kidnap the kid, the basketball player. He was waiting around all night. He messes up because there's the two kids are waiting for him, so they're come back, banging on the door. So he I guess he figured the jig is up at that point. There's nowhere to go, so he just pours a bucket of acid on his face and disfigures himself so that I guess because I'm only saying this because that's what the nurse said, and usually they're doing exposition or whatever, and she said he can't be identified, so I guess he was trying to hide his identity. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference would be, but like, he didn't dip his fingers in the acid, so his fingers, I guess fingerprints don't work over there.
Yeah, you're right. I guess, I don't know. I just, he figures
well, if he'd never been arrested, they wouldn't have his fingerprints.
I had mine done when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, but this was 1982. My fingerprints are nowhere on record.
Oh, get out of here. You think they're not?
I've never had my fingerprints done. And we didn't have those identification cards that everybody has now with your fingerprint and all that. We didn't do that.
What?
And I've never been arrested.
Yeah, that's how I had it done. It was, I had a job and I had to do that. I had to give him my fingerprints. But Alex, it's not on record, dude. It's not on police.
Well, I was arrested too, though.
What, for when you were 8?
No. I got them done again as an adult.
Oh, what'd you get arrested for, dude?
I So, Eli, so he pours a bucket of acid on his head, and he goes to the hospital, and then, okay, so what do you guys think about this? This movie is like, I would say highly realistic in ways, and then they got the over-the-top moments where she climbs up the wall to the hospital.
I love that,
It's fucking awesome. It looks so cool.
I think that movie is actually scary. When the first time I saw this movie, and the nurse is just sort of standing out in the parking lot looking around, and then I didn't even see it full on at first. I just sort of caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I looked over and she's scaling the wall, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, it's creepy.
It was really good.
Jamie, that's the best part of it, too, is I had that exact same reaction. I remember really being into the movie, but I'm sitting there, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? I had to rewind it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, me
too. Dude, I liked it better than the way fucking Spider-Man scales a building, dude. I thought it was...
Don't badmouth Tobey Maguire, man.
I'm not. I'm
just kidding, dude. He sucks.
Fuck Tobey Maguire, dude. Andrew Garfield. Shit,
what do you guys think of this guy's face? Was it CGI or good makeup?
I think it's makeup. and it's fucking sweet looking.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why he did it.
Fucking sweet looking.
Yeah. That's why he did it for us. Put his hands in his fucking acid. That wouldn't have been a cool effect. He dumps his shit on his fucking face, his head. He get a great shot because of it. Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he knew that was going to, or he had a feeling that was going to happen before he left that night?
Yeah. Why did he have that acid with him?
Because he made a point to take the jar of acid, and he also made a point to ask her not to be with
that boy
with Oscar that night.
Yep.
It was all and it, on one hand, like at first you get the impression like he's asking her not to,
right?
Because he feels when she's with him. I mean, because when she goes to knock on the wall, she shushes him out of the room. She's basically ignoring him, and he's not getting any attention from her. So it's like he's asking her to be there for him tonight when he comes home. He wants to spend time with her. But then I kind of feel like he knew he was at the end of it. Like it just wasn't going. Whether it was going to be that night, I don't know for sure. But he knew that sometime soon it was going to be the very last trip that he made out.
Right. Yep.
He knew.
I think that's very sad. I mean, that's because when he says, he's like, let me ask you, just don't go out with that boy tonight. And then she just sort of reaches over, lightly brushes his face with her hand, and then just turns and walks away.
Yeah, she's like, "Okay, bitch boy."
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad. It's.
Oh, the poor pedophile.
I know. I mean,
I know. We have sympathy for a fucking child rapist.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I mean about the
subtlety. Thing is, there's so many layers to these characters.
Yeah, right. Let's go watch Clown House after this.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
But you know what? It's mystery, and we don't know that. I mean, we know because we read the book and everything else, and we brought it up, but. We discussed it on fucking Banana Bites that time, or one of our shows, and Matt said, like, I think that he was an old boyfriend, and that he had grown up with her.
That's
and now
what I thought.
Replaced. Right. See, and as the audience, how are we to know? This movie's full of mystery.
Well, he's a gay pedophile.
Well, whatever. He's a fucking...
But why would you want to molest a kid without a dick is what I don't understand.
Well, he gets the best of both worlds. Maybe he likes girls, and... Who knows?
Like, what's the point?
Does he know that she doesn't?
Does he know
that she's a eunuch?
I know, right? That's what I was wondering.
I don't think he's aware that she's a eunuch. I think that he.
Yeah, but even Michael Jackson did a spot check.
Oh wait, actually, guys. With that said, you said so do you think he's just that sick, that much of a sick fuck that she never gives it up to him or anything? Because technically, she never does because
does she use her hand in the book?
I don't know.
She was going to let it. That was that signification when she caressed his face. That at the end of that night when she came home, in the book, she somehow basically assured him that he was going to get to touch her in some way.
Really?
That's not sexually. Dude. Just put his hands.
On for real?
For the first time ever. There's never been any intimate touching yet. Basically, it's
that's intense shit, dude. This movie is intense, man. And it's shut up, Jamie. I just think that it's subtle, but it's intense at the same time. The more you know about it, and you can make all these conclusions about these scenes where they're just giving like long looks and like saying things slowly,
like Twilight. Yeah.
I hate you.
I think there's another intense moment in this film when we see what happens when she makes a kill but doesn't complete the kill.
Yes.
We actually find out that yes, you do get turned.
If
she bites you and you don't die, you will turn.
Oh, that's so cool.
Hey, when
is
did
awesome.
this movie take place? The 80s?
1982,
right?
82, okay, yeah, because you got that feeling with that whole group of people, like, what did you guys think? Because I did not like any of those characters. I hated that girl. The guy fucking sucked. Like, that whole group of friends, dude.
I hated them.
Oh, they were I didn't know if that was going to deter me from, like, liking the movie as much as I did. And you know what, dude? It doesn't bother me at all, I think that's what they were going for, too. I mean, in a roundabout way, without saying that these people are the bad guys in our film. They basically do tell you that because they're hyping up we want you to feel for this vampire and this love story that has to do with technically on the surface a bad thing, like vampires are bad guys, but they're doing role reversal and they basically make you hate these fucking people, and they're just like normal kind of douchebaggy people, but they didn't do anything wrong. If this were, another movie, they would be the bad guys, right?
Yeah, but no, see, I don't think that at all. I thought that those two guys were very good fucking chums. They were old guys. They were drinking buddies. They were all together.
You're right.
Yeah, they were good old
Thanks
buddies.
for a night of drinks and camaraderie, or what does he say? Like friendship, and I mean, he's so. They actually express their care and friendship for each other, which is something you'd never see American guys doing. Like, it's like Alex is not going to go out with a group of his friends and be like, "Thanks, guys, for all the hours of camaraderie." I mean, you just don't.
Oh, Jamie, if a guy goes to hug me, I'm like, how about those Bears? Hell of a game, right?
Yeah. Right.
We're going to go all the way this year.
And
man, you would hate me then, Alex.
Oh, God.
I hug everybody, dude.
I'd be like, come on, let's go.
I tell everybody I love them, though. Like, I don't give a fuck.
The moment where he realizes that he was kind of an ass to her, because as she gets attacked, he runs over and he's just kneeling by her, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," because he realizes that he could have lost her at that moment. As for all he knows, he may still be losing her because she's kind of bleeding out.
Kind of.
And I think that's a very touching moment when he's just like, I don't want the last thing that I said to you to be asshole-ish.
I don't want my last words to you to be "fuck you, bitch."
Right?
And he felt bad. Remember, he's laying in bed and he wakes up and he's thinking about his buddy, Yoki, whatever the hell his name is, and he goes, how could that have happened? Like in the middle of the night, he wakes up and he tells him,
I don't get it. He was fine.
Yeah. So he's fucked up from it. It's his good friend, and then he loses him, and he actually valued his friendship more than he did his girlfriend at the time.
Exactly, dude. I think he was, I think this movie is... Never mind. All right.
One more thing, right?
I think
got everything in it.
Yeah. I think the guy's putting from the rough. So the hilarious scene, there is some comedy relief. Like 20 cats jump all over this lady. Oh my God. That's the kind of stuff that has me doubled over laughing, man. Like, that is good comedy right there.
I don't remember what scene you're talking about.
Oh my God! You don't know when the girl, after she gets bitten, she comes back to the fucking place, and then
the cats. Yeah. I was just
Yeah, and it had already been established that cats have an aversion to them when Oscar and Ailey are in a shop. And then you see the cat like freaking out. Yeah. So it's already established that cats can sense them and cats don't like them. So then when she kind of walks into the room and then all of these cats just leap on her, and you get that one great little cat, that little orange cat that sinks its teeth right into the side of her leg. That is fantastic. And that's some good CGI too,
Wait, that wasn't real? I thought they just like sewed all those cats onto her clothes.
Some of it's real, but then like the one where the cat is biting your leg, that's clearly CGI, but I think it's good enough CGI that it's buyable.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It's like that Pet Cemetery cat, maybe.
It was one of the cats' church?
Or reanimated.
It makes me sad, though, that she's slinging him off and some of the kitties get hurt. I don't like that.
Now, Jamie, you're like a cat girl. You have like 20 cats, right?
I do, yeah. I have nuts. It's nuts over here.
How many do you really have, Jamie?
I have 5.
What would you do if you turned into a vampire and you came home and they did that to you? Would you keep them around?
Oh man.
Or could you?
I guess I wouldn't be able to because they would be unhappy with the situation. Like they would never be comfortable with me.
Right.
I would break my heart, but I would probably have to find them homes. I would never hurt them.
You wouldn't throw them out of the window?
Even if they attacked me, I couldn't hurt them. No.
What does it smell like in your apartment when they all shit?
Well, they don't all usually go at the same time.
No?
So,
I guess it smells like
I think
shit.
my apartment smells fine. Thank you very much.
Do they ever piss on your carpet?
Pugsley did once or twice when he was sick one time. He had a bladder issue. He had some crystals in his... Why are you asking me this? It doesn't matter.
I have no idea.
You guys remember that
funny
scene
about
in
the
Batman
cats?
Returns? Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking with her gnawing on it and she's twitching.
That was funny.
Sorry, go ahead,
Best part,
sorry.
though, man. No, this is just humor. I don't know if it's humorous to you guys, but it's my humor. Fucking that part, and because I watch so much foreign horror movies, something in translation just always is funny. Just the fact that the guy says, "What's happening with the cats?"
Yeah.
I don't think in an American movie you'd see that. Like if a bunch of cats.
So generic, dude.
A guy wouldn't say that. That's one of the that's one of the fucking beautiful things about fucking foreign horror.
Yeah. Let's write a line where the guy's acknowledging the situation.
Yeah. In America, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, right.
Well, right, yeah, be brief.
Look, the cats are
what's
acting
happening with the cats.
Besides that, Dave, you get more comedy gold when the chick is in the hospital and then she asks him to open the windows and she bursts into flames.
That is awesome.
It is awesome.
That's hilarious.
It's
how
so
do you?
much
And
better.
at that point, imagine you're one of the people in that room, and you're like, "What in the fuck just happened?"
That's how they spontaneous combustion.
Maybe that's where spontaneous combustion came from. Maybe there actually were vampires.
That
and
still blows my mind. No pun intended.
Well, yeah, so we talked about all that kind of stuff, vagina missing, bleeding when she walks in. So
vagina missing.
To wind it down, because I think we've talked about this as long as the running time. The guy finds her in the bathroom. Oscar helps. He knocks the guy out or something. Then she tears him up in the bathroom. Then she makes out with Oscar with blood all over her mouth. And it's funny because she's been with the other asshole for God knows how long, and she just touched his face, but Oscar's with her a week and she's already making out with him.
Yeah, it's true blue with them. They fucking have something. And that's why she was going to give her... She even walked in the house realizing it, knowing. Remember, he's like, yeah, what's going to happen if you walk in without me inviting you in? She didn't even give a fuck. Just because she cared so much for him, she walked in there knowing she was going to fuck her. And she did it. So they both cared for each other deeply. And don't forget how she helped him with the bullying, which was fucking an amazing aspect of it.
Real quick, guys, but going back to that scene, Dave, that you were just talking about, guys, now, what do you think of that as opposed to an action scene? Like her showing him that. Do you prefer? I mean, I guess it depends on the movie, but see, that's the thing, like this movie does. It doesn't go the typical way, right? But it goes the other way with it, which is her showing, and it's a more emotional way of going about it. What do you guys think about that? Do you like that better? I mean, to me, that's the shit that really makes the fucking difference between a great movie and just an okay movie. And that's what I talk about, subtlety. Not so much subtlety, dude, but just things in movies that don't beat you over the head.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
They do, but they...
Thank you, good night!
You're right, man.
So that bully part,
cool.
Yeah, no. It's funny because you say things that are statements and they make sense, but sometimes there's nothing to say after.
I agree. That's what's to be said. You're right, man. Straight up.
No, shut up, Dave. I don't want your pity like. That's like liking something on Facebook because he doesn't have any likes. My man, Dave. I love you, brother.
Always here to help, man. Always here to help.
So, okay, well, let's get real quick before we wrap it, because obviously we can't say the end until we say this. So, like I said, the kids are bullying Oscar, the little pricks. They do this, they do that, the other thing. So then one day, Oscar just, they're ice skating or something, and then the bully comes up to him and he has a stick, and he goes, what are you going to do with that stick? And he's like, I'm going to crack you in the fucking head if you mess with me. And he goes, oh, yeah?
Yep.
I don't think you will, because you're a little bitch. And he goes, oh, yeah? And he goes, bam! And the guy just like, ah! And his eardrum pops.
Dude.
Oh, I love it. Oh, dude, my favorite movies in the world are like killing child molesters, or like that movie with Kevin Bacon where he kills the guys who killed his kid. Death Sentence. Yep. So at the end of the movie, she leaves after that whole thing in the bathtub where he saves her from the guy killing her. She makes out with him. She leaves like for good. She's never coming back. She goes, I don't know how she leaves, but so the bullies all meet this kid at the swimming place at the end of the movie, and since he hit that kid in the ear, his bigger cousin says, I'm going to hold your head underwater for 3 minutes, and if you can't do it...
Then I'll just give you a cut.
He's like, I'll just cut you, as opposed to...
And if not, I'll cut out your fucking eyes.
Yeah, dude, isn't that rude?
An eye for an ear.
Eye for an ear, brilliant.
If he could do it, he'll cut him. If he can't, he'll stab his eyes out.
Because, guys, we look at this kid like that kid's a fucking pussy, dude. I'd kick that kid's ass. But to those little kids, dude, he's the big, bad fucking wolf. Like, and we'll get to the infamous scene at the end, dude, which I think is probably one of the fucking coolest scenes ever on fucking film.
Oh, it's great.
It's
the other kid, dude?
God.
He's a minor character. He looks like one of the bully's friends. He looks like the fucking dude from Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Remember how he's like getting upset because the one bully's making him fucking hit him with the stick, and he's like, dude, why don't you just fucking do what he wants? I don't enjoy doing this to you. And he's like in tears. See, it's like bullying through another bully. Then at the end, he has enough of it. He covers up his ears. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of shit going on. There's these minor characters that there's narratives of them. Great,
dude, and it's.
Okay, guys, so we have spoilers in this review? Oh, wait, 1 hour
Oh,
two.
fuck yeah, I think so.
The father it's off topic, but do you think that the father is involved with that man in a homosexual relationship? Because I kind of got that vibe. I'm curious what you guys... Remember when he goes and visits his father twice because of the divorce and everything else, and he goes off to see his dad?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course he's gay.
Yeah? So
God, dude.
I didn't
Jamie,
get that at all.
On a serious, with European men, it's difficult to tell sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, they are.
Simply because they don't act culturally, it's very different, So if it were like an American film, and you see those two, it kind of reminds me of like Sleepaway Camp in the beginning, but them being European. I don't know. It's not something I ever really put a lot of thought into, but I guess so.
I always wanted to ask someone else that question because I've watched the movie so many times that the thoughts always crossed my head. So you guys are.
I honestly never thought about it, but then thinking about it, I would say probably so. I mean, that may be the reason they got divorced.
Dan's referring to earlier the pool scene. Basically, you see a little bit of carnage. I mean, I don't know if we don't have to say what it is in case nobody saw it, so let them be surprised. But yeah, that was so fucking badass. That is just that's perfect.
My favorite scene of the film overall. I really love the fact that she came to his rescue. I don't know, I'm kind of like Alex. Like, I really love seeing assholes get their comeuppance. And this guy was not just the older brother that was holding him underwater. He's not whatever he was. He's not just like your average everyday, I'm going to kick you in the shins bully. This guy is a fucking murderer. Like, he's just going to walk in and kill this kid without thinking anything about it, Yeah. And also, one thing I really love about that is when we pan away at the end and you see like all the carnage and everything, but then you see the one little boy sitting off to the side, the one who didn't want to have anything to do with it to begin with, and he's just sort of sitting there crying, and she didn't bother him. I like that. I like the fact that he was not guilty by association, that she kind of knew that he didn't really want to do the things that he did. And honestly, with this group of kids, I get the impression that you're either with them or you're against them. And if you're against them, then they'll kill you. I mean, like, these kids are fucking brutal, man.
Yeah, right. They're like toadies. They're like Grover Gill.
Yeah, dude. The two fucking Scott Farkas and shit, dude.
Right.
When I tell you to come, you better come.
You said everything, dude. That I love it for the exact same reasons, dude. And the fact that one shot, dude, of fucking when he's being held underwater and then fucking bloop and it drops right in. I'm sorry, dude, but this is fucking old school shit where you have to imagine what's going on above the water. Like, I'm sorry, dude. You see that fucking arm and I'm sorry, dude. Think about that. Look at this. Think about this for a second. Look at fucking her going down and her just ripping the arm off. Like, I
can't picture that, actually.
Exactly.
I'm glad they didn't show it. That actually, just think of that. You know how we're always bitching about like censorship?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember how we talked about how in Texas Chainsaw 3, how we didn't like how that dude William Butler, they didn't show the hammer hitting his head, and that was clearly censorship compared to not showing it with this. This is where it's artistic license. That's just bullshit. The other one,
right? Yeah, because it's better that way. You don't need to see it to get the impact. I think really where you get the impact is watching Oscar. Like you watch the realization when it hits him, like, wait, something's not right here. Like something's going on. And so we just stay on him through the entire thing, and then you just sort of see like you see the head come flying at the other end of the pool, which is fantastic. And then, and so we know as much as he does, basically. That's what I mean. He doesn't really know what's going on, and neither do we. We just get little glimpses, and that's brilliant.
I love the kids fucking feet kicking. I think that's the best part of it all.
Yeah.
When they're going back oh my gosh.
I do have one question though.
Okay, I have the answer, I'm sure.
If you're in a pool and this guy comes up to you and says, I'm going to hold you underwater for 3 minutes. If you can do that, then I'm going to cut you. If you can't do that, I'm going to pluck out your eye. Are you then going to swim to the edge of the pool where he is so that he can put his hand on your head and push you underwater? Because that's exactly what he did. He just went right over to him. Are you going to do that?
too. Yeah. Why didn't he just try to swim in the middle? And fucking let
they would just all jump in and get him. What's the point?
I know, but he would have stood a better chance.
Nah.
He probably thought that the less... But, struggle he did. Yeah, the more he complied, they would take it easy on him.
I don't see those guys taking it easy on anybody, though, and I feel like I would probably go down fighting. He knew.
He knew he was fucked either way. Like, it was coming one way or the other. And, we're going to do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way.
Maybe he's depressed because she left. He's gone. He's fucking...
Yeah, that too. Perfect.
That's true.
Exactly, Dave. Yeah, man. I mean, and I think that's the key to this movie is that I hate to keep saying it, but it's very subtle things where...
Oh my God, he's saying this again?
You use your head to kind of fucking map out each scene, and it all fits. But in that last scene, it's a physical representation of everything that we've been dealing with throughout the whole movie. Thank you, Alex. Which is subtlety and burping and fucking partying on a fucking podcast.
Woo! All right, so let's wrap this up. We got it. I have to live my life. We all like the movie, clearly, I think. I know Jamie hates it. Dan barely likes it. But I think me and Dave are big fans. So how do you rate this movie? Let's go around really fast. Dan, from 1 to 5.
Hated it.
Okay, 1. Jamie, 1 to 5.
This is a 5, clearly, I think.
You love it, really?
I love this movie, yeah.
Okay. Dave, 1 to 5. I already know. Favorite movie ever.
Of course, the fucking 5. The movie's fantastic. Opening shots, fucking closing.
I give it a 4 out of 5. So, am I the lowest rating? I mean, Dan, are you 5-5 or 4-5?
I'm a 1.
Come on.
I'm a 5. And I'll tell you this.
I'm a 5.
You all love it?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really good. I don't know if I...
You tell me a better vampire movie than this.
Right, thank you. What's a better vampire movie?
The Lost Boys 2.
Right. Yeah, okay, but see, you're wrong. Like, that's just you. But that's a great movie, too. But this is why I want to...
technically.
Guys.
Technically, it's fucking amazing alone.
It's amazing, technically.
Everything. The opening shot with the snow falling.
Oh, beautiful.
But the movie was very cold.
It was, and I love it. I love that atmosphere.
You know what I did because of that atmosphere? And you're going to think I take things way too far. I wanted to, I consider myself a method host for the show. So when I was watching this, I literally turned my heat off and didn't put any blankets on.
That explains why it's so fucking cold in the dungeon tonight.
I know, right?
I forgot to put it back on for the review. I'm sorry.
Put the fucking furnace
the next time you're in the fucking laser one, see what I do.
No, right, dude?
Mm-hmm.
No
like, you realize this floor is stone, right?
So yeah, I tried to live the movie, so I made it very cold. I didn't get to the point where I was breathing breath or seeing my breath or anything, but...
You didn't cut your dick off?
I didn't go that far to make it Methodist type thing, no. You know what, with Let the Right One In, when I say cold, what I mean is, this reminds me of like in the morning when you sit on your toilet bowl and it's freezing, the bowl. Like that kind of cold.
Oh, I hate it,
no,
bro.
Nobody?
No, I got you.
But I keep my house at 61 degrees.
That's cold.
So,
She wants to keep those nipples hard.
I didn't have to adjust anything. No, I'm just fucking cheap.
Jamie's walking around in 3 fucking sweaters. She looks like Adrian from Rocky. Hey, remember you had like what? What'd you have? 20 sweaters on?
Go to the zoo.
what franchise do you want to see continue the most? You know, we have a lot of favorite franchises. Some have continued to people's dismay, like Lost Boys. Some have not continued to, you know, people yearning for it, like, you know, the Big Four, shit like that. And you guys on Banana Bites, let's start off with this one. You guys on Banana Bites, you guys talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So here's the craziest thing in the world. Jamie, wait till you hear this. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They did part 1, then they did part 2. 2 was a continuation from 1. Far continuation. Then they did part 3, which was sort of like a remake to 1. Then they did part 4, which was sort of like a remake to 1. Then they remade it. Then they did a prequel. Then they went back. Instead of continuing from the remake or the prequel, they did one that followed the original first one. And now they want to do a prequel to the follow-up of the original that came out in 2013.
What a mess.
Could you believe that? What is wrong with this franchise?
Wait, wouldn't a prequel to the direct sequel just be the first one?
Right.
That's what you would think.
Right?
Okay, so is it going to be her story?
No, it's Leatherface's story.
Okay.
I was a teenage
Leatherface. It's
Leatherface.
going to be what was going on with Leatherface during that 25-year span or whatever.
Yeah, the teen years. Yeah. It's fucking... Yeah.
So Leatherface is going to be all angsty, and he's going to have pimples on his leather faces, and you know we're going to see him learning to jerk off, and right. As far as franchises, I would like to see continue. I would enjoy more Ginger Snaps.
Really? You know, that's coming out on Blu-ray pretty soon.
I know.
Yeah, sure.
I think all 3 of those were solid, and I would have enjoyed seeing more of that if they kept it as solid as it was.
Okay, now, where would you like to see a franchise go? What happened in the last one?
The last one was a prequel, like it was 1800s prequel. So we've done the first one, then there was the direct sequel to that, and then there was like the prequel. I guess what you could do, there would be room for another sequel. You know, you could keep continuing that story if you wanted to. Or
do you want Catherine Isabel back in?
Well, how are they going to get her in? That's the problem.
Well, I mean, they worked her in all 3 of those. You know, it's you could do another. You could do like because in the third film or the prequel, what we saw was the origin of Bailey Downs, the town that they live in. It started out as a fort. And so we saw the origin of that. And then in the original film, it was present day at the time, Bailey Downs. Well, I guess what we could see is like a 1950s Bailey Downs, you know, if you wanted to do a period thing. I don't know. I mean, there's pretty much... You could do Ginger Snaps in space. Like a far future, like futuristic werewolf. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying it's something they could do because you never know. Ginger Snaps in the hood.
I want to see Pinhead, Leprechaun, Ginger Snaps, and everyone else, and Jason all meet each other in outer space.
That's what I said on Bites. Bite. He's biting my bites.
Swear on my life, I did not hear that part.
Are you fucking serious? Wow. Holy shit. Amazing.
I've been playing it at night. Yeah, I've been playing it at night, and I keep falling asleep. Not because of you.
No.
I started at like 11:45.
Wow. Oh, listen, let me go a step further. The reason we talked about it is because we were talking about how fucked up the Texas Chainsaw franchise is, because we were talking about this movie. And then we said, why don't we just send that asshole into space now? And I said, yeah, let's send him into space. We'll put Leatherface in space, Jason, Leprechaun, what's his name, Pinhead, and then we'll throw Alien in there because he's from space anyway, or her, and Predator, and then they can all fight in a fucking terror dome.
I did not hear that. Wow, that's
another crazy coincidence. Wow, Jamie, what do you think?
Well, it'd definitely be an interesting thing.
Would you guys like to see another Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger movie?
No.
I don't. I think he sucked in Freddy vs. Jason.
I agree.
His everything about him was terrible.
Yep.
Not really.
Yeah.
Although I did enjoy New Nightmare. Like, I really liked
I agree.
New Nightmare.
As did I.
Yeah, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Freddy vs.
at
Jason was
this
the last.
point,
Yeah, we're done. Okay, Pinhead. Would you like to see that Doug Bradley come back?
No.
God, I'm so tired of that franchise. Jesus Christ. It's like, that's like right up there with Amityville Horror. It's like, now we're just going to start talking about pieces of furniture.
Oh,
And I'm like, it's just, when you run, there's no.
My throw rug is possessed.
although they did bring back Child's Play, and it was pretty badass.
Uh-oh, he brought it back.
Yes, they did, and it worked, and that's like one of the only times I think it's worked.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess it really just depends, but if someone asked me hey, do you want to see this, then,
No. Michael Myers, Halloween. Do we want to see... Okay, how about this? Good question. Would you rather see a sequel in the same universe as a sequel to Part 8, or would you rather see Rob Zombie's World Halloween 3? Or start over again?
I don't know. I'm kind of done with that.
I agree. I say neither, believe it or not.
Neither? You don't want to see any more Halloweens forever?
Not really.
Maybe
Dave?
a Rob Zombie, maybe. If it's like Halloween 2, maybe. But
Maybe, right.
I
personally would like to see him do 3, since I like 2 so much.
However, I could watch a new Friday the 13th every year until I die. And be
yes, obviously. Yes.
Now, do you want to come off of Part 8 with my Part 9 script, or do you want to see a sequel to the remake?
I don't want the remake. I don't want to acknowledge the remake. I don't stop.
Paramount. I want Part 9.
I want Paramount. Yes.
Yep. That's what we want, all of us. Yes, definitely.
Okay, who else is out there? It's Lost Boys. You guys see this 2 and 3?
I actually liked the third one.
Yeah?
I did, yeah.
Huh.
Somewhat. I mean, that's not saying a whole lot, but
right.
But I didn't think it was
horrible,
crazy, terrible. No.
The ending, though, it was very anticlimactic. Everything seemed so easy.
It was, but overall, I could watch another one of those. It just sort of depends on what they did with it, I guess.
Didn't see him. There's, like I said, there's one I want to continue that could work, and it's Final Destination. It could work.
That could work because it's not necessarily dependent on the ones before it. I mean, you can just
keep at all.
And I could definitely watch more of those. I was really into those.
Absolutely, because death is eternal. It doesn't matter. You don't need anybody else to be in it. That could go on and on and on. As long as it was a good script, why not?
And my heart will go on and on.
Yes, Titanic too.
They actually made it Titanic.
I know. I saw it. It's fucking hysterical.
Who else is out there? Oh, Evil Dead. Let's just say, forget about that remake. Would you want to see Bruce Campbell come back and continue S-Smart and shit like that and do that Part 4 where the monsters attack the store and continue on from there?
Yes.
Not me.
I would. What about Sharknado?
Oh,
they did.
I haven't seen any of them. God.
Part 2. Oh my God. Is that any worse than Part 1?
Yes.
It's worse? Okay.
No, actually, it's a little bit better, but it's all cameos. I mean, there are crazy cameos. Like, Robert Hayes is flying the airplane.
That's funny.
In the beginning. And Judd Hirsch is driving a taxi in New York City.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, I mean, it's stuff like that. And they even have Jared eating a fucking Subway sandwich.
Oh.
Wait, the guy that listens to our show? Jared Fair?
No, Jared, the Subway guy. And he's like, hey, man, you should eat fresh, too.
Fuck, I'd rather see Mahoney eating a fucking Jimmy John sub.
Yeah, Mahoney.
How about Jaws? You want Jaws to come back, Jimmy? Carry on? Jaws 5?
I think remake is better than Jaws 5.
Ooh,
Fuck a
what?
remake. Fuck a remake.
Nobody better fucking remake Jaws.
Nope. CGI
But
sharks.
Jamie, come on. Jaws 5.
Well, you know what? I would tolerate a Jaws 5 faster than I would tolerate a remake. Because remake of Jaws is akin to blasphemy, as far as I'm concerned.
It is, but I can't see anyone going to see Jaws 5.
Well, no, I don't. It would definitely not make the theater.
No.
No. This time, it's not quite personal but it's almost there.
That's a great slogan. This time it's not quite personal.
Yeah, that was 40 fucking years ago. No, it's not personal. And let's just make one side note that Marilyn Burns from Texas Chainsaw Massacre is dead at 65. She survived Leatherface, but eventually we all got to go sometime. So rest in peace, Marilyn Burns. I loved you. You did an amazing job. I just wish you were in a pair of shorts when you did it, but you did an amazing job nonetheless. Jamie, you're very close to Texas Chainsaw. What do you think of Marilyn Burns passing away?
It was very sad for me. I said yesterday on the TMZ website that she is her performance in that film is extraordinarily iconic. It's one of the most emotion-wrought performances in horror history. I mean, it is a piece of horror history. It's amazing.
And look what Felissa Rose said about it, remember?
But yeah, I mean, that made me sad. And I'm still not over Dick Smith dying. So that was just a week ago, and I'm not over that yet either. So it's too much sad in the horror world right now.
Jamie just got up and left. What the fuck? I think she's just broken up about Marilyn Burns, Dave, and she just couldn't sit here and keep on doing the show.
Yeah, she didn't want to cry again. She was almost in tears the other day on another show. She was on about Dick Smith. Enough was enough. It's just been a rough week.
She just grabbed her eyes and just got up and took the headphones off and left. But, we'll wrap it up, I guess. Well, is there any other horror franchises, Dave, that you would like to see continued? I'm trying to think. House. No. If anything, although I think the 1986 film can't be touched, a remake would be cool just to update it a little bit and bring people their awareness up for that movie.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But overall, What about Sleepaway Camp?
I think, that definitely should be remade.
They could do it. A remade or just a sequel?
I would like a sequel more. I think that we definitely need another... I don't care if it's direct to DVD. I don't care where the fuck it goes, as long as it's my DVD or Blu-ray player. I think one more Sleepaway done right. I think the fourth one, and yes, I mean the legit fourth one, stop talking about Survivor! I'm talking about Return to Sleepaway Camp. It kept my attention, and it moved forward and shit like that, but it just wasn't good by any stretch. So, and it was very disappointing to see Felissa Rose in that caliber.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and Jonathan too. That was even worse than her caliber.
Sure. Yeah.
So that needs a real send off before we get remade there.
Yeah, they got to capture the atmosphere, a little more.
Why can't they just use those old cameras? I know it would cost too much for the film, but there's got to be another way.
Yeah, there does have to be another way. How hard could it be, honestly? You could take retro pictures with an app in your phone and mix it like old pictures. Why can't you do it with film? I
don't know.
It could be done. That's one they could do. I don't think they will. What about Saw? You know it's supposed to be a fucking Saw 8? You believe that shit?
Yeah. Yeah, fuck, why not? I don't care.
Yeah, maybe. It's because 7 was such a letdown, maybe.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I wouldn't even mind. Oh, they can't. I'd say another Omen, but they can't do it because they killed Damien.
Oh, they did?
Oh, shit. I spoiled it for you, didn't I?
Did he come back? I know he came back when he was like 30 years old. I guess they killed him?
We're going to do the retro one day on Banana Leaf.
Oh, God. That's a show.
1, 2, and 3. Oh, no. 1, 2, and 3. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
You'll enjoy it.
But isn't he in 4?
The Awakening, I believe it's his daughter or some fucked up thing. I've never even seen it. How's that?
Huh.
I think it was made for TV also. I don't know.
Dude, they were all on Netflix, and I watched the first 2, I think, and then after that I just never went back. And I've plotted through fucking Hellraiser, dude. I plotted through Jaws. I plotted through like some of the most... I'm still trying to get through Wishmaster and Phantasm movies.
Fuck, don't bother with Wishmaster. You're better off with fucking Puppet Master after part 1. That's how bad they are. Now the other one, what's the other one you said?
Wishmaster, Puppet Master.
No,
you said Puppet Master.
Yeah, you said something. Phantasm.
Phantasm.
See, I say indulge in that. I watch 1 through 4. Why not? Give it a shot. Yeah.
Well, Coscarelli did all of them, right?
Yeah, they're all watchable too. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. And the Tall Man's and all. Yeah, didn't Jamie say the Tall Man's and all of them, but the boy was replaced in 2 for some fucked up reason, and then he came back.
And then,
just because of bullshit studio bullshit.
Bullshit is right.
Rob Zombie. No, just kidding.
Fucking poor bastard. How about the Rocky series? Oh no, that's off topic. Sorry.
Oh shit. No, that's a good question.
It's not horror, but
Rocky. Fuck.
Another Rocky.
The last one was abysmal, or
the word you're looking for would be abysmal. But you really thought it was an abysmal movie? Wow. I liked it.
I did.
Wow, I liked it. I think I liked it better than 5.
Get out of here!
And I liked the whole series.
Tommy Gunn.
I like the whole series. I'm a Rocky fan. So
I love Rocky. You know, I'm one of those weirdos who are okay with 5.
I hate the fight at the end. A fucking street fight.
It's great.
Lame. Really?
Oh, you don't like it? Oh, wow, I like it.
No, I just thought it was a lame way to end it in the street.
He's like, you knocked him down. Why don't you try knocking me down?
Try knocking me down, right?
Why don't you try knocking me down? Yeah, I got my mouthpiece in already somehow.
No, I enjoy it. I actually also enjoy Rocky 5, but Rocky Balboa, I don't know. I've only seen it twice. I have the Blu-ray. I thought it was a real good way to wrap everything up.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Even that last Rambo was okay, too, for that.
That was solid, but it wasn't enjoyable. Like, it was very depressing to me.
It was gory. That's all I liked out of it. It was just fucking blood and guts and people getting whacked all over the place.
It was just, but it was so depressing. There was so many dark... See, I love darkness. You can't be a Sons fan without loving darkness. But...
Darkness.
Some people do darkness a different way. And Rambo 4 and Casino and shit like that, that's dark on a level that is not enjoyable to me. It's not, like, fun.
You know, with Rambo, Part 2 and 3 were just so fucking far-fetched to me. One man taking on fucking armies. You know, I don't think that when the last one came out, it was quite along those same lines. So I think I respected it for that it wasn't too outlandish like those late 80s, early 90s movies were. And, you know, once again, it summed it up. But I do understand what you're saying about the darkness of some movies. See, me, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Depends on the movie. Depends on how good the script is, if I like the actors, you know, the situations that are happening.
The situation? Oh, shit. He's in this, too?
That fucker, he stole my brother's name. You know, my brother's name is Mike, okay? And I used to call my brother Mike, back in the 90s, Mr. Situation. That was
Get out of here.
Yeah, Mr. Situation. I was so pissed off when I found out this guy fucking made a name for himself and his name was called Mikey the Situation, or the fuck his name was. I was pissed off because my brother's name is Mike, and I used to call him Mr. Situation because he was always involved in fucking strange and uptight situations. Like he had
Are
bad
you
luck.
serious?
Yeah, so I said, oh, there he is, Mr. Situation. What's going on today? Oh, a drama was always happening to him. So I used to call him Mr. Situation, and his name is Mike. So
wow.
Yeah, when that fucker came out, I was pissed off. I'm like, son of a bitch.
That's almost like my Simpsons shirt thing. Maggie's first words. Wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. It's weird. And he's Italian.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
And he's more entertaining. I guarantee you, if they brought cameras into fucking my life, it would be more entertaining than the Jersey Devils or whatever the fuck it's called.
The Jersey Devils. I'm still looking for that guy, man, running around the mountains of Watchung, New Jersey. I should take my bike up there one day, man. That'd be nice.
Yeah, what are you waiting for? If you have a legend like that out there, why aren't you looking?
I know. We should trick my buddies to taking our bikes to the Watchung Mountains, and really my objective is to find the Jersey Devil, and these assholes think we're camping.
Yeah, do it. Why not?
This is Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com with all the skinfo from the latest movies. Nude on DVD, it's the final season of Showtime's Californication. After 7 seasons of nude debuts and Mr. Skin shoutouts, David Duchovny gets a spectacular send-off from naked babes like Bridget Davidovich and Diana Terranova. These ladies are sure to get you in a yank moody.
This is the Mr. Skin Minute.
Nude on Showtime, Season 2 of Ray Donovan had its best episode yet. Not only did former model Vanessa Shaw make her official nude debut while banging Liev Schreiber, Paula Malcolmson achieved gratuitous greatness in a naked shower scene. When it's Showtime, it's grow time. Nude on HBO, Anna Paquin is still leading a cast of naked vamp tramps on True Blood's final season. This week had bisexual bloodsucker Anna bearing her B positives while getting it on with her real-life husband, Stephen Moyer. Our girl Suki's got one stacked house.
Suck it. MrSkin.com. Fast forwarding to the good parts.
Has there been a movie made about the Jersey Devil?
I think.
Okay.
Not nearly, obviously, nothing like the Chupacabra or the Bigfoot.
Well, let's do it. Let's get our fucking camera phones, you and I. We'll go to the fucking, we'll make a movie.
Yeah. You know, we have like a lot of listeners on the Skeleton Crew, and it's in such a number that I'm not even going to get into it, but it's a very silent number. A lot of people don't say anything to us in any form. They don't review us on iTunes. They don't review us on YouTube. They don't review us on Horophilia. They don't join our Facebook. So I would like you people who are the silent listeners, you know, yes, you, yeah, right.
The silent majority. Yes.
Right, you, yeah. It's a silent majority, big mouth.
Who's that over there? I'm the unsilent majority.
More Rocky references. Yeah. Isn't that weird? So I want you guys who have never said a thing to the crew. You know, you guys know we're wrapping it up pretty soon. Halloween is our last day. You got to tell me, is there any good Bigfoot movie in the world? Because I think it's harder to find Bigfoot than it is a good Bigfoot movie. And I've said this before. You got to email me at alex@theskeletoncrewshow.com. Just write to me and let me know, please, if there's a worthwhile to watch Bigfoot movie. Thank you.
What about the one that just came out? Some people liked it.
Nope, Jason said it was horrific.
That's one person. Some people liked it, though. Willow Creek.
I think he knows what we're looking for. Willow Creek? I think I saw that one.
It was directed by fucking Bobcat Goldthwait.
Okay, forget it.
Yeah, The Legend of Willow Creek or something, and it's found footage.
Bigfoot! It was on the road! Fucking asshole. Can you believe he was banging that fucking chick?
That's right, that hot chick, Nikki Cox?
Oh.
I'll never fucking forgive him. Oh, she was
What's her
so
middle
hot.
name? Loves?
Oh, remember that show? It was like a ripoff of fucking Loves. It was a ripoff of like
Married with Children.
Married with Children. And she was like a Kelly Bundy character. But honestly, I think she was hotter.
Oh, come on. Listen, Kelly Bundy is the most near and dear person in my heart.
I love her, too.
I would fucking jump in front of traffic and push that chick out of the way, but Nikki Cox is hotter. I'm sorry.
Oh, right?
Oh,
wow, and that guy was banging her. Holy... You never know. What money will do to you. Money
and influence. Holy fuck.
Right?
God! I'm only doing a free show! I need money!
Right?
Send $7 a show to Alex at the Skeleton.
Put the little donate button down there.
I really should, man. I think I should get paid. I think we should all get paid. I was going to charge... Jason was trying to set up a thing where I could charge $1 for my Friday the 13th rap song.
Oh, yeah, right.
He wasn't able to figure out how to do that. Like, he knows how to put them on iTunes, but he didn't know how to charge for iTunes. Unfortunately, I just put it on YouTube for free, and apparently I would have had about $1,400 right now.
If they would have paid, yeah, sure.
Right, yeah.
Let's just say they wouldn't have. Even half of them, you still would have made $500. You know what I'm saying? The shit, that's nice. The thing is, there's too many piece of shit fucking podcasts out there that aren't even worth paying $1 for.
And it discourages people.
Yes, it does discourage people because they don't know, oh, what are these guys doing? They're getting on a mic and they're talking for fucking an hour and then it's over and that's it. And anybody can do that. That's what they'll say. But you know what? That's to its benefit and to its detriment. It's fucking... The best thing about podcasts is that anybody can do them. And the worst thing about podcasts is that anybody can do them.
Yeah, I've seen the worst.
You know what I mean? It's true. It's great that we can do it, but it's also shitty that other people that don't do anything, don't edit, don't fucking care, don't just have fucking shows and nobody's talking, they're lagging, they're boring. Fuck, who wants to
They don't
hear
contribute,
that?
they don't really add anything to it, yeah.
Yeah, who would pay for that? So they don't know.
Yeah, so they hear us, they figure we're the same shit.
Yes.
So, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. You're weird. We're still enjoying ourselves. That's the important part.
Yeah, that's why we're still here enjoying ourselves. Right. The only reason I'm leaving is because I don't want to produce. And if you want any hint on why the fuck I don't want to, just wonder why Banana Laser took 3 weeks to put a show out. You know, it's supposed to be 2 weeks, guys, but production is such bullshit that Matt is so fucking overwhelmed and swamped with normal things. And I'm telling you, you don't the fact that you guys got shows as frequently as you did,
wow,
is a miracle. Because what Matt is going through right now is the normal thing. Nobody would invest this much time. Like you might think it's crazy for leaving, but I'm telling you, you wouldn't do it either, man.
Yeah, very few people would do that.
And the fact that we gave 3 years, I think is a lot. Shit.
Fuck yeah, it is. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yes.
It's fucking a long time, so don't hate me.
Nah, nobody does. We're all still having fun, and we're having fun doing it, and they're having fun listening, so.
Yeah, Dan's on Phantom Zone, I'm on Banana Laser, so you still got two, and Jamie obviously is on all her shows that you all know about. She's on Evil Episodes, she's on Devour the Podcast, she got her live shows every Wednesday, so we'll find out where that is. We'll announce that better but next time. But, you know, we're all still around. That's all. We're still good.
This is true. Yep. And we'll keep talking about Friday the 13th till we're dead.
Friday the 13th and Shining. Banana Laser. So there you go. That's the show. We hope you enjoyed the review of Let the Right One In. We did the original, guys, so nobody could bitch about, oh, you should have done the original. We did it!
Damn it.
And I hope you enjoyed that interview with Mark Patton. I'll be honest with you guys, that interview was from 2011. Here's the story. I started off on a podcast for horror called Rabbit and Red Radio. I was on and off, couldn't stand the guy running it, and I was in and out. I fought with him, left, came back, fought with him, left, came back. And by the third time I came back, they were doing so pitiful on Horror Bid that Justin said, I had enough of you guys. You don't deliver what should be delivered in a podcast. And even with me going back, I didn't have the control I have, now to actually put something out that people want to hear. So it was up to, Vince, and he just was all about what he wanted, really didn't care about what was necessary to give to people. So Justin said, fuck it, then I don't want you on my site if you're not going to provide. So that decision that he made to throw us off of Horror Bid at the time, in June 2011, the last show we released was it was the first time I ever interviewed somebody. It was the first one-on-one I ever had was with Mark Patton. I'm just stopping for laughs. Okay. No, I'm not gay. No, just kidding. No, but he was the first guy I ever said to Vince, I want to do this alone. Vince wasn't into it anyway. He didn't want to talk to the guy. And I'm a big fan of Nightmare Part 2, so I interviewed Mark Patton alone, and then we put it out there on Horror Bid, and within 5 days, I think, the show was taken down. And so not too many people heard it. That's why I really wanted to put it on this show. Sorry for the sound quality. I was not the producer at the time, and I would have not let that happen, but it sounds like shit. Hopefully you guys were able to make out what was being said. Sorry about that. But there you go. That's the Mark Patton interview. It was important to me, and it's a big part of my podcast history. So, hope you liked it.
Yeah, good stuff. I liked it.
Thanks. So there you go. So this is the Skeleton Crew number 92. We have 8 more shows to go. We hope you're there to the very end. We will all celebrate together on Halloween night. Dave, thanks so much for filling in. Dan has not been able to make it to the last couple shows, and really appreciate you stepping in.
Thank you, brother. Anytime. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks, man. So you can catch me on the next Banana Laser, and that is my new home, as well as this show till it ends, and Dave, that's where he is, and we will see you next time on the Skeleton Crew. See you later.
See you.